Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with Irish Dota League Season 2. This is week 2 of games taking place between what is colloquially known as the Mousy Stack, also known as Sad Coomers 420, and the Murakami Stack. On paper, quite an imbalanced game, looking quite in favor of the Murakami Stack, but who knows? An upset might be on the cards. And joined with me to watch the potential upset, I have, of course, my wonderful co-casters, Magikian and Waffle. Would you like to introduce yourself, boys?
5 seconds.
Okay, hello. My name is, it doesn't matter what anyone calls me. I think I change that every week. Hello, and I'm actually captain of one of the teams in this tournament. I was here a week ago, commentating a different game, and now I'm here for this one as well.
I'm Waffle. I play mid for Magic Keaton's team. Lowest MMR player in Division 1, so don't listen to a goddamn thing I say.
Fuck yeah, no, it's like you got it among champions.
Okay, leading into this first pick now, we see a first pick Nickers pop, but of course a Wishfire favorite, right? Isn't that right, Master?
Yeah. Well, but for Murakami, so it's heavily contested. Very heavily contested. Yeah, they're taking that one. I mean, is Treant banned? Yeah, Treant got banned out. I imagine Treant is kind of the one hero you really don't want the enemy team to get. It's, in my opinion, it used to be Spirit Breaker. Now I think it's Treant, just because his numbers are crazy. Slardar are arguably the same, but I don't think Slardar is a first pick hero. So, but it may be just comfortable to ban out, just so you don't have to worry about it later on in the draft. None of these bans are particularly surprising,
right? Oh no, it's not. They're blocking the Tay pick. Okay, so both teams picking a hero that is favored by the opposite team as a kind of pseudo ban here, right?
Yeah, I mean, Centaur Warrunner is both a very strong offlaner, he's strong, he has some bad matchups, but he's playable as a 4 or 5. You don't see a lot of it. He gets played like that sometimes at pro level Dota. It's not common, but it is quite possible, and I like having that flexibility might make the difference here, because picking him very early is, I don't think he's a first round hero, to be honest, but he's still pretty strong. He's solid. He's a good foundation, right? He has bad lanes, but he doesn't tend to have bad games. So not a bad.
I gotta drop this comment because I know Mousy Stack love it so much. And my wonderful ex-Crusader casting, a comment often made was Marta will fall off in the late game. Indeed, they've blocked it, so no falling off. So you're welcome, Mousy Stack. I know you love when I say that, so you're welcome. But the interesting ban here, I think, is the targeted bans against Mousy are very clear, right? You've got that Necro ban coming out, you've got that Pugna ban coming out. Both heroes that I have experienced in playing many times and that he's quite adept on. But equally so, it seems like Sad Coomers have just basically gone from banning meta mostly, except that Wraith King ban, which I haven't seen in any of the Dota buffs of any of the Murakami boys.
I think, again, it's just sort of a meta tyrant at this point. I think Wraith King kind of, from the last patch, he was not the strongest prior to the last patch, but he got nerfed the least out of all the strongest heroes. So he kind of winds up on top as one of the heroes who comes out of that patch with their dominance slightly preserved. Like, he's still quite strong. He's still a solid offlaner, still a solid safe laner, still very frustrating to deal with. So just getting him out of the pool kind of feels like a smart move if you don't want to play him.
On the Phoenix
Next up, we see a Phoenix pick. Yeah. So do we know the Phoenix player is?
A lot more popular these days. You see it a bit more.
Yeah, Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix is a solid hero. He does percentage-based damage in a tanky person-based meta. A lot of the strengthy heroes don't tend to have a high attack speed, so they tend to suffer both hitting his egg and also against his fire spirits. Just generally a pretty solid hero. And the Grimstroke double pick.
Immediate Sand King.
Oh,
so that's the
Grimstroke Sand King. Ooh, that is scary. That is a scary duo. Sand King is kind of a. I'm a huge Sand King fan. I think he's actually surprisingly underrated this patch. I think part of the issue with him is that he's not that great of a laner. I think when you pair him with Sand King, though, or when you pair him with Grimstroke, that changes a bit. The Grimstroke E, or like the Inkswell into Sand King, but Burrow Strike is kind of very upsetting to deal with as a support. So very strong lane coming out here.
It's quite interesting as well that Sand King for the side of Murakami, and the stack they played in the Metland most recently, they had a 100% win rate on Sand King.
Wild. That's scary. What was their overall win rate?
And of course,
pretty good. They're a pretty good team. I just want to throw this one thing in there before I let Waffle take over here for a sec. I just want to give a huge shout out to Imprint Esports for all the statistics that we're using tonight. Imprint Esports are a homegrown Irish esports organization, providing a computational model to esports coaching. So thank you so much for the stats today, guys. Go ahead, Waffle.
Sorry. I was just going to say Grimstroke as well, a very good pick into Phoenix. Stops him diving away if he can link him. And Phoenix's dog shit attack speed means he's probably never getting the bug off himself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Spectre pickup immediately into the Nyx pickup. Okay, we're seeing some skill here.
I don't hate the Nyx Assassin Centaur lane, to be honest.
Yeah?
I don't hate
what
that.
What did the Nyx do this game? Against the heroes that are there so far. I suppose MP is like Nyx is MP's worst nightmare. Like the int multiplier is insane on MP.
He definitely eats some of these people. He's definitely frustrating to deal with. The thing is, though, we haven't seen the entirety of the safe lane so we don't know what's getting picked into this. Like a life stealer could be kind of a problem here.
I can see that.
Like
at least you have the Phoenix, right?
You have the Phoenix, but like Lifestealer rages and there we go. Yeah, he rages and hits the egg, right? Like this is a very solid. Lifestealer is a very good laner against Centaur. He's a strong enough dominant laner that it kind of emphasizes how terrible Nyx is in lane. He rages and hits egg, right? So he's not worried about that. He gets the free BKB dispel, and he has a solid matchup against Spectre. So it kind of felt a little bit inevitable. And on top of that, you've got a guy who can get into the Sand King for that initiation, for like a particularly explosive initiation. So this felt like this was a good pick. This works.
Lifestealer as well, Silver Edge Buyer, percentage-based damage versus Centaur and Spectre.
Yeah. Lifestealer is one of those heroes that Centaur feels bad laning into, like pretty solidly. Especially with like all of this, assuming it's likely to be a Nature's Prophet 5. It could be flexible, but it's likely to be a 5. At which point, like that level of physical damage against Centaur, who has like the lowest base armor in the game, I think, or like one of them. Normally, you have to start the game with 2 rings of protection anyway. Like it's not looking like a good lane. You can pull, like Nyx Assassin can just pull waves. It's possible, but it doesn't look easy. It's going to be a bit frustrating. Nothing to really stop the Lifestealer from popping off here.
Although we will say that coming into that late game option, having that Centaur, having that Nyx, having that Spectre, it's looking kind of comfy here for 420 Souljas, right? Or is the Lifestealer too overwhelming?
I think it's doable, right? Like I feel like their draft. I feel like as a rule, it always feels better when your draft is rounded out before the 5th pick. It makes you a lot less predictable. I feel like 420 Sad Coomers need a good pick here. I feel like Murakami Souljas already basically have a decent draft, right? Like they're just going to have sprinkles on top. Whereas I feel like Sad Coomers, they have a bit of a scattered damage problem. They don't really have a way to deal with the Lifestealer at all. They need something for that. And I'm not sure what the solution to that is. If anyone knows, please tell me. I struggle with dealing with that hero.
Mid Bane. Okay, Timber coming out for the side of Murakami.
That's pretty good.
Timber's an interesting
I mean, like
into Nyx?
You could put the Sand King mid, you can have Timber safe lane. Like, isn't Phoenix either strength or universal now? So Timber's gonna hurt him.
10 seconds to
He's,
go.
you know, he was always strength. He got swapped to universal. Same with Nyx Assassin.
I mean,
He's good against Centaur.
Just mini strength for Timber.
I honestly think that whatever they picked was probably going to be fine, and I don't feel like Timbersaw necessarily adds to their strengths. I think he's just like an extra hero.
And he's just damage as well. He's nice.
I don't think damage was going to be a problem. I felt like locking people down was going to be a problem. Like keeping on them might be an issue. Like what happens after if Centaur survives? Doesn't he just stampede away kind of thing? So I guess Timbersaw is overwhelming damage, so it's like maybe it is the case. And Puck's banned, so who knows?
They're maybe leaning into the Grimstroke to just stop people. No one ever runs away together. Someone always wants to get a spell off before they leave.
Question on this: if you cast Grimstroke ult on someone, does Nature's Prophet sprout 2 people?
I think so. Yes.
Now that's a team.
Isn't bad.
Pretty good Zeus game.
This is not. These are not. I think these are not. This is not a completely one-sided draft. I think the global presence is pretty strong. The ability to get in and dodge fights is pretty strong. Like the pickoff potential from Coomers is pretty strong. Like I feel like Murakami Souljas didn't really capitalize on their strengths, like the advantage with their last pick. Whereas I think Zeus does kind of round out a lot of the problems in Sad Coomers, or at least some of them. Like they've got a greedy team. They're going to be playing from behind, but they have the ability to play globally in a way that Murakami Souljas don't. They have a mobility to them, a flexibility, a versatility that Murakami Souljas don't seem to have. So they have at least one strength that they could use, right? And that's all you need to win a game.
That's pretty true.
Yeah, the one thing I really like about the Zeus pickup this game is just what it's going to do into that Timber, but I'm worried about this Lifestealer. I think he has a pretty free game.
They
right?
don't have an answer to the Lifestealer, which is a problem, right? Like that is the fundamental problem. In doubling down on the magic damage to deal with the Timbersaw, they have kind of left the Lifestealer free. And I'm not sure if that's he's gonna have a good lane, almost pretty much guaranteed. And he's gonna have good matchups in the game. So the hopes, I guess, is to just deal with everything else and then leave the Lifestealer for last, or to just ignore him and dodge completely. Also possible.
Once again, we're kicking into this game. This is week 2 of Ireland. On paper, Sad Coomers facing into quite a difficult matchup against our beautiful Northern Ireland stack, captained by Tay. And we are looking at a pretty close game. I hope. What are our predictions going into this one, guys?
Places everyone.
I think this is an uphill battle for 420 Sad Coomers. It's a weird name to say out loud. I think that's going to be difficult for them. I think they've got their outs, though. But they just need to play to them.
If I can make a special request, Waffle, I've had a request for you to zoom in on the Sad Coomers flag. They put a lot of time and effort into it. And as a graphic designer myself, game recognizes game. It's pretty good.
I have zoomed unbound my mouse. I'm sorry, I physically can't.
Have a look. Okay, wait. Look, there's a fight going on. About 5 heroes. Tay gets caught. Tay looks like he's about to die, but he gets out with the Burrow Strike, but not quite enough. First blood for the side of Wishfire. Now going on to this little Grimstroke. One more right click will do it, and he gets it. 2 kills to the side of Sad Coomers. Big early win for them.
Yeah, Wishfire and Gab. All right, that's pretty big.
30 seconds to go.
Yeah, kills going on the side of Gabs and Wishfire, 2 of the heroes you really want to have at those early kills, especially considering Nyx's weaknesses that we highlighted earlier.
Have we figured out who's mid? Is it Timber mid.
Timber's mid, right?
Young Handyman.
Young Handyman, okay.
And then Mousy, I assume, for the side of Sad Coomers.
Yeah. I want to talk about this starting build. Popping the clarity already. Leaving it for a late bottle. If he hadn't got those first bloods there, that seems like it's going to be a bit rough.
And they're off.
Reply, so please enjoy this voice line.
Interesting. All right, they get 3 runes for 420 Sad Coomers. All right.
I hope.
Things are looking big.
Already lead. 1k net worth lead at 0 minutes. If you multiply that by 40, that's a 40k net worth lead. This is late game.
Exactly. If they keep this up,
that's
man.
Pretty big. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah. I think mid's going to be I guess it's going to be very difficult for Mousy to kill. I think Mousy has the more kill potential of the 2 of them, but I'd be surprised if he gets one. Because he just tends to go
bottom
from
lane, Wishfire getting incredibly low into the harass of that Nature's Prophet just about gets out.
That's so
very close though. Yeah, it's a tough lane.
Yeah, they can maybe pick the Prophet though if he comes too far forward. Like that's always going to be a possibility, but harassment wise, it's just all they don't do. They either on Sad Coomers they either go or they do nothing. Right? There's no trading here.
Now, once again, I'll highlight that there is a bit of history here. This Sad Coomers Sand King actually was picked against... Sorry, not Sad Kingers. Murakami Sand King was picked against Sad Coomers at Metlan and was quite the stomp. So we shall see if that maintains here.
It's like the lanes are going to be a little rough. I think mid's going to go the best out of all of them. That being said, the lead that they get from those runes and those first bloods might actually make the difference towards propelling them towards items. Right? That if Gav gets an early Vanguard, it's possible he just becomes kind of untouchable. That being said, he is taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, getting that Vanguard into that Nature's Prophet Blightstone and into the right clicks from the Lifestealer, there's such good combination here. Look at Gabs, he has to run away here continuously. Because he just can't do this.
I'm not fully sure if either they just didn't block the camps or if the camps were unblocked, but they're going to have full control over the wave here from Murakami soldiers. I think Wishfire attempted to block the big camp, which is perhaps necessary, right? Because he doesn't want them to pull into that. Oh wait, no, he unblocked it. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those sneaky words.
Yeah, I know. It just didn't seem to. Yeah, okay, never mind. I just missaw. But
okay. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, we all make mistakes sometimes.
What do you think of the Pause 5 Phoenix?
Who's
That's fine. It's not a great laner, to be honest. But he's got an escape. That counts for something, right?
Pretty good into Sand King that you can always get out, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's got a way to get away, but he can't really body any damage. Like, he dies pretty fast to like a Grimstroke. If he gets properly gone on, I think he's dead. But
Looking at these
I mean,
early
he
last
kills
hits,
though.
one thing I want to point out is just how far ahead Strapping Young Handyman is. He's just up to a 17-4 on this mid timber, which it feels like is
Ugh.
further than he should be, right?
Yeah, I think so
18.
too.
It's hard. It's hard to say. Like, Zeus has more damage, especially because he's gone for a null talisman, and
Yeah.
he can always last hit with Q. But like Timber doesn't really get low. Like the amount of damage that Zeus puts out in lane, you're never really gonna put Timber low enough for him to want to fuck off. So you can kind of just sit there and last hit on Timber. And you're melee as well, so sometimes it's a little easier. You know, and the very short range on Zeus, you can, if he goes for a last hit with a right click, you can kind of walk up and Q him. It's
The one saving grace I'll give here, though, is that the Spectre is having a very nice game. I mean, I think she's highest net worth in the game right now. She's farming away. I'm going to be rushing into that Treads, presumably into Blade Mail. Oh, but here we go. Go onto the Phoenix, but once again, he has that jump away we mentioned earlier.
he jumps
so
back in.
It's not too concerned. Oh, brave Tofu Enjoyer.
Maybe a little bit of
bit
miscommunication there.
miscommunication, yeah.
Oh, meanwhile, Blood Grenade comes out. Looks like they're going to go into the Sand King, but they walk away. They just give him the old, yeah, you know what we can do to you, bitch, and then walk away. I like that. I like that.
Tofu Enjoyer getting basically getting a weird abstract pull and denying your range creep. Very good for him.
Oh, Gavs. Oh, that's the worst when you cut the tree and get blocked in by a creep.
Oh, Gavs looks like he's going to go down here, but a great stun there from Wishfire just about saves him.
Nicely
Good
done.
stun there from Wishfire. Just about saves him.
Huge. They're like
Good quality
things
play
like
on the pause
are
forward.
looking okay. Like I think they're getting to the items they need. I think maybe I'm not sure where this is going to go in like 2 levels. Like I'm not sure if Lifestealer is going to just be able to straight force the Centaur out or not.
I presume he can, right?
I think so,
it's
but it's
rough.
possible that a Vanguard, right? With a Vanguard, it's possible Gavs will just be able to walk behind their tier 1 tower and just not really be movable, right? And not really be worth the Lifestealer's time to like go and grab and try and force him out.
Yeah.
So
Meanwhile,
it's possible they both straight farm.
middle lane, a lot of harass coming out from this Timbersaw onto the Zeus, but it looks like Mousie's comfortable enough. Wondering, what do you think he's building into? Is he going for that early Flak to rebuild?
I would assume so, if only because it's common. I'm not sure how good it is, to be honest, but it would make
I
sense.
think if you get it early, it's good. If you don't, it sucks. But, you know, he's got... What has he got? He's got 27 last hits. Like, he is falling behind, but it's not like he's being dumpstered, right? He's still getting... Like, I wouldn't call it putting even, but it's close enough to it where you don't really care. I don't
Put
know...
things into context, he is actually dead even on net worth based upon those early kills and those early rune gets. So he's exactly even with the Timbersaw, which is like, you take that, right?
I think you only really want to get the phylactery if you're winning your lane on Zeus. I think is the
Yeah,
issue.
so fair. So
And
fair.
as well, it allows you to rotate a lot easier early. That slow isn't huge, but like it lets you close the distance, right? Just, you have such high range on your Q, and when you're W, that you can kind of like use it to start for other people to start. If you get what I mean. It's weird, but I don't know if their team has the capability to sort of kill with it. So maybe you just get some. I don't think he does the Manta build, right? That would be a bit silly this game.
I don't know how good that is. I've heard
Yeah.
stories.
Seems to have fallen off a little bit.
Go top, Nile TPing in.
Yeah, looks like the Spectre is under pressure from Nile TPing in, but Tofu Enjoyer says, get down, Mr.
Gonna
President,
feed for it,
and jumps
yeah.
in. Oh, but he might get out? No,
No,
this
not
could
quite.
be
Yeah,
fated.
noble attempt. Just tanked it. We kind of never
Yeah.
talked about just how much pressure a Nature's Prophet can lay down, especially if a Lifestealer is capable of kind of just being self-sufficient, farming behind the tower, pushing it out. So it seems like maybe they're not going to go for shutting down the Centaur. They're going to ebb more towards trying to shut down the Spectre.
Like, even with that, though, the Spectre is doing good. Like, these treads coming in. Looks like a go under the mirror, too. Like, there's nothing that the Zeus can do at this point against Young Handyman, so it's very difficult for him to compete, right?
I mean, he
This
can
has
just
kind of
farm.
gone the exact opposite way of what I was expecting. Like, I guess Lifestealer did come out ahead of the Centaur, which I mean is good. Not as far ahead as I think he maybe should have. But Spectre is coming out even top, which again is I think a big win. But somehow, like, I was not expecting Zeus to kind of fall behind the Timbersaw. Again, he's only like 300 gold behind him, but the kill threat is super scary looking right now. Like, it feels like Mousie's just one misstep away from exploding.
I'm honestly
it's
surprised
very high
there
pressure
hasn't
lane.
been more kills stopped. I thought.
So am I,
I
yeah.
thought Sand King Grimstroke
Oh,
would have...
meanwhile, you say that straight away. Caster Curse looks like a go on to Tay with the Phoenix Sunray coming out. He's pretty low. Dive in, but he has that Grimstroke for the bailout. Looks like he's going to get out here.
I have a different ideological interpretation of Sand King to everyone else. I've been I play a lot of Sand King, to be fair, and I've always been partial to the maxing the Q,
Oh,
right? Like
good
the
rage
building
there
stats.
by F Mega.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah, kill in the mid lane, and then a revenge ulti from Zeus out of
Yeah.
rage. He almost kills. Oh, he almost kills an F down bot. But yeah, what I was saying is that Sand King, like the maxing Sandstorm build, I'm just not huge on. I know it's what everybody else does, so I don't know how much I can talk shit, because it's like if you look up Dota 2 Pro Tracker, the build that Tay is currently going right now will probably be the most common one. But something about it often feels weak, especially when you're paired with a Grimstroke and you've got so much kill potential with like a couple points in Burrow Strike. I don't know. Feels kind of like they aimed to like go even in this lane when they could have won it. But we'll see whether or not that matters at all. They could just be working towards a faster blink instead of crushing the lane. You just like farm more, get a faster blink, and then just dominate from there. That also makes sense.
Oh, looks like a go here from mid lane onto Mousy. As you said, one wrong mistake, and it looks like he's down. It looks like this is exactly what Handyman's planning here. With a go onto him, but he misses the Timber Chain. And it looks like
The Timber
Handyman's
Chain?
now
Oh
instead.
my God!
Down goes Timber.
I don't think he missed it. I think it was short. Unfortunately, he only got 1 point in it. That's absolutely huge. Mousy, with the nerves of steel, baiting the overcommittal with by holding Heavenly Jump, and/or frantically mashing an off cooldown, or an on cooldown Heavenly Jump out of pure panic.
He
Oh,
was
it looks like
expected
he
here
did.
with the open Hey, Sand King, very, very strong. We said this before, we'll say it again. If you're wondering why Mousy is playing a little strange, he is now a League of Legends main, which is something I promised to bring up at some point. So he is dramatically casting Recall and wondering why it isn't working.
Yeah, he's
So
very
everyone was
upset.
thinking that's what it is.
He's currently very upset by the lack of anime girls. He was promised more anime girls.
He said the same at Metline, actually. So it's funny you mentioned that.
That's why he
Anyway.
cries into his Marcy.
He kept asking where
it's-
the blue-haired bitch is at, and I don't think he realizes that
Oh,
it's quite
Christ.
like it is.
Meanwhile, bottom lane looks like it's still a pretty easy lane for this Lifesteal.
right,
But go on to his Nate down goes Nate
Prophet?
TP in from the Vector. Vector says, okay, I've got my kill, I'm going back to farm. See that you guys look.
I mean, he can get out of it. I did jumping in.
Oh,
the
the
face.
ult
They
comes in
overcommit
from
here.
Zeus?
Yeah, there we go.
Infest into the catapult.
Yeah.
Maybe Weedon goes down.
Looks like Wheelan's going to go down as well. For another couple
dude.
of Spectres.
Neutral
Oh, the
That's what you
deny.
get for holding dagger.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in comes Tay, but not quite enough damage to kill Gabs, but in comes enough damage to kill Gabs. Here comes the Lifesteal kill onto the side of Gabs. And meanwhile, the Sand King chilling out in his little sandstorm. Pretty good engagement there for both sides, but probably favoring ever so slightly the side of Murakami, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they overcommitted on the lifesteal. Like, I respect the audacity, but he did have his ult. Well baited.
At least the Spectre is keeping up. If we have a look over that net worth chart, we are seeing the top 3 net worth going out to the side Murakami, but not by much, right? The only person really far behind right now is the Centaur. 3.1k net worth in comparison to the 4.5k on Tay's Sand King, which is pretty damn rough on a Centaur. But at least now that he's got that Vanguard finished, maybe can start building towards that phase blink, can start being more survival, can start building up a net worth lead.
He can farm and he can still contribute. Like, he's still relatively scary one way or another. He's still a big beefy boy. So
What do you
and he's
think about
always got his
finishing the
global
phase blitz?
presence. Oh, Mousy's getting hunted
Oh,
down like a
Mousy looks like
dog.
he's down. Meanwhile, Handyman
fair
going for the
for
double
shit.
kill as well. Oh, egg comes out.
Pop egg in order to try and survive.
But meanwhile, out comes the epicenter from the Sand King onto Sad Come. Looks like he's kind of down at the moment. Taco Fries. He's low, he's low, he's low, and he's dead. Huge
Brutal.
start out there for push power, but it's not enough. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of the side of Murakami. Bit of a lead now their side, 1k net worth lead. Now looking kind of low though, gets hit with the fire sprites. Can they do enough damage to finish him off? Doesn't quite look
Does it
like
land?
it.
Oh, I think
While
that
they
might
are
get him.
bloodied,
I think that's gonna get him.
He's dead.
Hit.
He's dead. Yeah.
Great. Oh, and he's down.
Yeah.
Tofu Endura with a last little goodbye kiss in the back of the neck. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Goodbye.
Interesting that he wasted 100 net worth by using a teleport spell instead of just TPing.
Sometimes in times of conflict or times of panic, Ushin, we do things that we would normally would never.
Mid-town.
That's all I can say, you know?
So true. I'm Team Mousy on this one.
Wishfire! Wishfire!
Look at Wishfire's got him.
Huge.
Huge
Oh,
kill there from
The
Wishfire.
guy I best do something about that bottom.
Are we gonna
Takes
get a
out the
return kill on
timber.
Tofu? No, he's gonna survive. And it looks like
Looks like they're
Tane's a
going
lot
to go
of
on Tane now. Tane, huge trouble. 7
Okay.
to 6 now for the side of Sad Coomers. Only 1k net worth in it. And we said this before. We think if this goes just about late enough, Sad Coomers can pull this out.
Yeah,
Huge
like,
upset right
honestly,
now.
a part of my prediction was based off of how I thought the laning phase was going to go. I was not expecting it to come out this even at all. I figured that there were one lanes on the part of Murakami Souljas. The fact that they're coming out of this even, I think, is a big side in favor of Sad Coomers. Like, I think they're in a pretty good position.
We look at the builds coming up now. Zeus bringing in a few items, looking like he's going to build towards that phylactery build, or is it towards the Aghanims? I wonder. What do you think that point boost is going to be match game?
What has he got
Oh,
on
we
his
can tell.
career?
It's
Yeah,
like
phylactery. It's a phylactery. Yeah.
13-minute
we go.
phylactery. I don't know how I feel. I don't think that's.
I think it's going to help them. Like we said it beforehand, like their lanes are their strength. Oh, tactical pause.
It looks like Sadcom 420. Jesus Christ. As a diffusal blade. I didn't notice that earlier.
I mean,
I haven't seen that in a while, but I can see the appeal. Like, it's solid against, either it's solid at least bothering Timbersaw, right?
yeah, maybe he's watched the TI9 True Sight recently.
Recently, and yeah.
But he's going there all low
Smoke
heroes.
on the side.
Oh, Mousy's about to get
Murakami looks like
fucking
Mousy's in the
obliterated.
housey. In comes the Sand King, drops the epicenter. Mousy's still alive though, getting out for now, but he gets hit within that
But he
nature sprout and he
didn't
goes
buy a
down.
quelling blade, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, in comes the revenge kill. Wishfire is angry. He's an angry little scorpion, but angry scorpions don't get you nowhere in life. Only kills do, and that's not enough. And down he goes as well. Wishfire is still going though. Looks like he wants to go on the side of the next spot, and he gets him with the Spectre assistance. Ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of the side of Murakami.
Pretty big. That's like we're starting to take a lead in these team fights, it seems. Like, it's just way easier to start a fight until Centaur has his blink. Because like that Grimstroke into stun.
Exactly as it said. Looks like Gavs is going to
That was a mistake.
I'm gonna tip onto that. That's right.
Merciless.
Tay.
Double tip.
Guess
For
what's
Mousy.
happening at the
What?
tower?
Mousy, famous teammate, encourager.
Yeah.
Goes out,
Same
wheelchairs in
PMA captain.
For those of you who are new to the Irish Dota scene, there was a certain British stack that decided to wheelchair stack in like every single comment section that we had, and then lost the final. So we're not ableist, we're just doing a callback joke. Don't worry about it.
That's fair. Interesting. All right, so things are heating up a little bit. I think the mid-game team fights are easier to execute for Murakami's at the moment, but that might change. Like, once you're getting into the Centaur stun, Phoenix ulti kind of territory, like as soon as he gets a blink, there's some serious room for problems to be created. Oh, it looks like they're gonna make it go on Wishfire?
And it's
Oh, sorry, Wishfire's gonna make it go on. Does he get it? No, he gets the armor toggle.
But he's got the Sunray. Sunray's a lot of damage. Down he goes.
He was free. He was home free
Now in
there.
comes the Wish. Oh, not quite. Grimstroke gets off the Link, but Link's up to nothing. Still probably goes down, and Tofu and Joy drops the egg.
Very
Will it be enough? 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, blue hit. Looks like the Phoenix goes down.
That was unfortunate. I don't think they're gonna stop chasing him. I don't think they need to.
Oh, and Gabs gets hit up
trouble.
with that Solar Crest. Minus armor onto the Centaur, never want to see it.
Centaur
Down he
really
goes.
is the
Wishfire
paper.
wants the revenge. Wishfire comes in, drops the dust, drops the stun, but there's no one to follow him up. It's a birthday party and no one's invited. Here comes the Sunrise.
They don't have
Sunray
Phoenix
up onto
ult. Mousy
the
is
side
almost out
of
there.
the
Disjointed fight, focusing.
Handyman. He's super low now. One more will do it. Huge stun for Wishfire. Down goes the mid. And meanwhile, Tay looking like he's going to go down to the Spectre as well. The Spectre.
Wow.
How
Alright,
hell of a
actually
game.
done it.
7.2k net worth.
I keep forgetting that the Spectre exists, and she keeps reminding me. Like, dear God, she's doing like an incredible job on Sadcom 420. What is his name? Can I call him something else?
I know, it's very confusing because 420 is the name of the team. I believe the player's name, is this Toma?
Thomas, or is it like a Mo Jacob? I think sometimes. But,
No,
I
Jacob.
don't.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I might go with Mo Jacob only because I want to stop saying Sadcom 420.
I think
Yeah.
you should respect the player and their wishes and use the name that they have chosen.
Let's say SC 420.
Okay, that's acceptable.
SC. We're going with SC.
If anyone in
Well,
the chat comments about my observing, you can go fuck yourself. My first touch
Oh well. All right. This is
going
so
to
far
gas.
so good.
You're doing a good job, Asheen. Is that all you want to
Are you
hear?
following my cam?
I am. I'm
Okay,
watching
okay.
the stream live.
Bounty.
I am a dedicated caster. What can I say? But anyway, meanwhile, let's have a look at some of these item progressions. So Wishfire building into that Dagon now. So going the hyper greedy build, but something really good into that Timber Saw, right?
Yeah, and also just like I don't think Nature's Prophet ever gets to a point, or Grimstroke for that matter, where they're never going to be like
Guess
not a
what's
free kill for
happening
you.
to Dyer's bottom
Yeah.
tower?
Yeah. It's gonna be
Is
a
it just-
huge impact.
Trouble.
Interesting
Huh?
just how sacrificial the Nature's Prophet has gone as well, right? The full Solar Crest before boots.
Yeah, that's some real Chad
Going
behavior
to
right
full
there.
ags next.
Yeah, he's gonna go full ags before he goes boots.
Yeah.
Dude, buy some boots. It's not. It's 400
Radiant's
gold.
coming apart.
It's interesting.
It's like, you know, those families they talk about during the Industrial Revolution. with, like,
Exactly.
paint
Yeah,
their
he's
shoes
gonna eat
on
some
and-
coal for dinner. He's gonna be grateful.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
What were you saying,
Uh,
Waffle?
I was gonna say they're putting a lot of farm priority on Wishfire to get his Dagon, but shouldn't you be trying to get that Spirit Vessel?
The
first?
seeds of fortune.
I don't know if Timber
On-
Saw's on Tofu Enjoyer on the Phoenix.
I mean, he'll get to it, right? There's no. The thing is, like, you want the Dagon as early as possible, whereas the Spirit Vessel, whenever he gets it, is good. Whereas I think there's kind of a carbon date on the. Oh, it looks like they're gonna make a go on Tay. They might get him. Oh no, he's way tankier than I was
Yeah, he's
expecting.
super
Oh, no, he's still gonna go down. He's still
Sunray
gonna go
gets
down.
him. We want Nile looking like he's in trouble as well. Sad before
Drop
we
the
said
follow
this
up.
Spectre is
Miles
terrifying.
down.
Double
Dead.
kill for the Spectre. Still a 3k net with lead, but not by much. Sunray comes out, but not quite enough. Outcomes will land to get the kill onto Wishfire. It ends up being a 1-for-1. Sorry, 1-for-2. Hugely in favor of Sad Coomers.
SC selfishly attempts to hit his bug while holding, because of the tether, Wishfire and the Timber Salty, while he screams from pain.
Wishfire
Incredible.
dying there because he's not willing to commit bug on bug violence. Very
Exactly. Pacifism. That's where it gets you.
Yeah.
6 legs
Well, I guess
good,
it's
4
bug
legs
on-
bad or something? I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, 6 legs being an arachnid. How many legs does a fucking bug have? I don't know.
I think bug is more of like a. I think it's
No,
kind of like a
6.
fish. It's not really like a.
Eight?
Arachnid is.
Oh, hang on,
specifically-
meanwhile, top lane, go here by Tay onto
Oh,
the
Sad
Spectre.
Come
Spectre
Forward.
goes down.
That's a lot of
Sad
gold.
Come
to
Forward,
get
also
that
known as
lifesteal.
Mode Jacob, goes down.
Is it? Oh, okay. I like SC. I like SC. I think it'll do. It's respectful without having to say
if I
sad come
can't-
420 whenever he does something good.
If I can for a moment, may I enlighten you boys, do you know the origins of the name Sadcom 420?
Yes.
No, I do not.
Okay,
I was there.
allow me
I
to
was
fill
there
you
to
in and
witness.
fill in the chat as well. So, the original Ireland was a high-budget type of organization. Krav, our dear Andy, put a lot of work into it and managed to secure himself some quite high-quality casters, including Odie, Pixel, and Sheever. And they decided they would let one of the Irish homegrown casters join for the final round of the finals. And that final person was someone called Mousy, or Zeus this game, who decided that they were going to use their original Steam name, which was SadCoom420. At which point, Sheever groaned and never came back to Ireland again. So that is the origin of SadCoom420, in case you're wondering.
They were forcibly removed from the stage, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too. They were very drunk, which is not a feature of Irish Dota, I promise. We are not all drunk on cast right now. I say forward by
Oh, okay.
Casimiro.
Oh,
Team
look,
fight started
in the
off
meantime,
the
they decided they got bored of our stories and decided to start a team fight that they've won.
This is the thing, the
legacy of
Spectre is
Sad
popping
Coom
off.
420 lives on. Yeah.
I don't know the last time.
Spectre is
Dyer
popping
might
off.
wanna mine their top
I don't know the
tower.
last time that Murakami soldiers have won a team fight and they're still 3k ahead.
Dyer's top tower.
I mean,
This
they
is the thing
lose.
about having a lifestyle in a game that's uncontested, right?
It's like they're losing team fights in a sense, but the supports are the ones dying, not the cores. So it's not a significant amount of gold swing, but it does keep the game going longer, right? Like I don't want to make it sound like these aren't good situations for Sad Coomers. It's just they're not
Can I
really
point out
getting.
something
the-
here? Okay,
Oh,
meanwhile,
yeah,
middle
looks like
lane,
they're
here
gonna
comes
go
the stun
in.
out from Tay. He's got the go with the Burrow Strike into the Infest. Down goes Sadcom. What's more, I want to point out something interesting here. Have a look at Lifesteer's build. He's rushing that Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea, but who knows?
Yeah, no
But
shards
it seems to be
now.
working. Sadcom goes down. So that jump with the Sand King is so strong.
Yeah, I don't think
charges
SC
on
is really respecting the pickoff potential. I think he's been caught off. He's doing quite a good performance here, but I feel like he's been picked off a few too many times this game. He's making the game a little bit harder. Oh, they find Nile.
Looks like Niall's gonna go down. Wishfire gets caught by the Tay Sand King. I told you the Sand King is serious. Down goes the Wishfire Nyx. 3 for 1 in the end there.
Still killing the Nature's Prophet. Always pretty handy. He's not pushing out your side lanes.
I don't know.
He's not
Like they
warding
just
up your jungle.
Wishfire gets a kill on the Nature's like the position 5, and then the position 4 dies to a Sand King. Like I don't think that's worthwhile. I think that's just feeding gold, to be honest. Like I think maybe so they've been a little bit like, despite the team fights they've been winning, they're still 5k down, and that lead has been growing, right? It's not like they're slowly whittling away at it. I think maybe they're not being as careful with these team fights as they need to be. These trades don't feel like deliberate things. They often feel like
oh, you are Gab going out to Young Handyman. He gets the stun, he gets the slow, he gets the stun rate. Looks like Young Handyman's low. But he gets a huge whirling death off that gives him
Willie, no.
alongside the Grimstone. Meanwhile, in comes the Sand King with the huge epicenter, but it's not quite enough. It looks like Wishfire is still alive, but just about holding on. Meanwhile, the egg pops, but pops only onto the Sand King. They get out. It's a 1 for 1, but that's all their team fight ultis expended.
Is it a 1 for 1?
Yes.
And
2 for 1 now?
420 goes down.
No, it's just a 2. They didn't.
It's a nothing for 2.
Yeah, it's a nothing for 2. They didn't kill anybody.
Not quite good for them anymore.
No.
Meanwhile, in comes the Phoenix. Phoenix
I
wants
think he's
revenge,
dead.
but
There's the bug.
that was ambitious.
Dire's top
Bug
tower.
cancelling.
And the tip from Tay. Tay being toxic as all hell this game. I love it.
Some real aggression coming out here.
Ethereum.tay really showing us how it's done.
Yeah. Really representing the stability and kindness of the crypto community.
I think if that was true, then Tay would blink into the enemy base. But in actuality, they're pushing from in for two now.
The dire bench proceeds so far.
Hype finished up. Meanwhile, go onto Mousy.
Oh,
In
they
comes
tend to
the
save,
Grimstone.
ends up getting caught by
And
the
onto
gun.
Gabs as well. Looks like they're waiting for their items. Now they're gonna pull them off. Down goes Gabs. Down goes Mousy. 2, 4, 1. They do take the Grimstroke in extension, but it looks like it might be too much. Maybe Sad Coom 420 goes down as well. He's still stuck in this sandstorm. He's trying to get out. He's swimming, but Tay goes down instead. Sad Coom 420 still fine. Timber Chain missed there by the side of the Timber Saw, but it might not be enough. One more Rolling Death will do it, and it does do it. Young Handyman does take down the Spectre.
Good performance from Young Handyman. Really making this like Timbersaw hasn't been picked for some time. I personally think maybe he's a little sleeper. He got one particularly big buff in the last patch, but really making him look good. It was an increase on the stat damage, right? It's from 10 to 13% on Whirling Death, which is not which is kind of considerable considering how much damage it does to Strength Hero. Like it's not nothing. Looks like we're gonna making it go top. Nile might die for this.
Looks like to Nile. Nile goes down to the side of Mousy. Huge kill there from Mousy, but meanwhile they're still missing their Spectre, and they managed to get that pick off. Will probably stop the aggression for now.
No, he's getting Xenomorph.
Oh my god.
He's been hit by that Aghanims.
Absolutely
Wishfire looks like he's
Xenomorph.
next. We said it before, we'll say it again. There's no answer to this lifesteal, especially with that Grimstroke Purge. In comes the Grimstroke Ult, and Young Handyman hops on top. He says thank you very much. He takes that kill. Lifestealer somehow still alive. All through all of it.
The FE is going to be huge.
He has the FE. He has the jump. He has the sandstorm. Huge jump in onto the Spectre. Spectre goes down. Down also goes the Gab Centaur. And it looks like the Phoenix is going to follow them. 4 for 1 in favor of the Murakamis.
Devastating. The last 5 minutes was like a pretty significant turnaround. Or not necessarily a turnaround, but a slamming shut of this game. On the side of Murakami Souljas.
A lot of
15K
patience in there, right?
Centaur's just having an
got for twice
awful game. He's not really capable of it's just really rough to play into this. He's got a whole bunch of heroes in the enemy team that can kill him. He got his laning phase kind of annihilated. And there's no way the Sand King just counter initiates way stronger than Centaur initiates. Right? He when he tries to go in to save people with a stun, he keeps getting caught up by other stuns. It's just really brutal.
Lifestealer holding mangoes as well in case he gets diffusal bladed down, so he can always
Oh my
have mana
God.
for the infest. Because I'll remind you how his only death occurred Was having no
Maybe-
mana for Infest.
Maybe he's hungry, okay? Not everything has to be something.
Do you reckon it's
But
like
look, he's got
segmented,
another one
or does he
delivered.
eat it whole?
He's got 3 mangoes in
all.
his backpack. He also just bought a wand. Maybe that would have been a more.
We said at the start though, Waffle, like who else kills him?
It's not. It's so difficult to get him. Looks like
Meanwhile,
Wishfire's
Wishfire
been
gets stunned
God.
with a root. In comes Honeyman, down goes Wishfire as well.
Annihilated.
Pretty easy kill. You tip out onto Wishfire. This is one of the things I love about this team. They are toxic as all began. Gotta respect it.
Is
It's
anyone?
Irish culture.
Are any of the teams in this tournament nice?
If our team
be
is
fair-
anything to go by, no.
I will say at Metland we had a ranking of who are the teams that are most respectful versus least. We came last.
respectability?
Which is unsurprising. Largely based upon the double where we played against that CIS stack, Kian.
Oh, that was
Can't come-
fine. I don't know what you're talking about. That was perfectly fine. It was funny. I didn't tip anybody.
The second
laugh
worst
in their
was
face.
considered the worst flamer in Irish Dota is Winter, the Ecuadorian man from the side of United Nations. Last one, Winter is toxic as all fuck, and I love it. But Mousy stack and then Tay stack came after that, so we're dealing with this. Meanwhile, Wishfire gets gone on. He gets stunned immediately. Silence into the looking like the Spectre's going down. Pretty easy kill there for young Handyman. He has the items, he has the damage, and there's no way of dealing with them.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, Gabs gets chomped.
Yeah, I was talking shit about the Ags, but man, does it seem to be scary, this game.
It does
It's
a lot
working,
of
right?
damage. You get to hit someone, what is it, 4 times? Yeah, you get to hit someone 4 times and then do 550 damage to them.
If he's
That's
Ags
a
into
lot.
Phoenix and Phoenix eggs, does he like pop out, or does he like burn in the heart of the sun and instantly
I
die?
don't know.
God
Good
knows.
question.
God
I believe he
knows.
pops out immediately, but like if I could make a run and tell pro tip here, the Infest Ags is one of the best ability draft spells in Dota 2. I'll tell you why. You can cast all of your spells by in it.
Oh, interesting.
So if you have Ravage, you infest in someone, you could Ravage inside the enemy team.
Well, you can't have both of those, right?
I was thinking more
Sure,
you pick
Ken.
up some rot, you pick up rot, you pick up ion shell, you just hop inside
Yeah.
someone by a radius.
Rot is the big one. Rot is the big one.
That's funny.
Yes, and pretty strong lead now here. 23k net worth lead at 30 minutes. Looking very tough for the side of Sad Coomers, but at least they have really nice base flags.
The game really turned there. Like, it was honestly
Yeah.
looking very close for quite some time. Like, some really good signs of life from Sad Coomers, to be honest. But just kind of
Do you think
letting
it's a
it slip
draft
away.
issue?
I think it was always a draft issue, but that didn't stop them at first, right? Like, I think they actually overcame a lot of the draft issue.
Looks
They
like
got
Wishfire
further
is
than
going
they could've.
here onto the side of the Sand King. In comes the Spectre.
could go.
The Sand King gets the TP out. Meanwhile, the Grimstrokes
He's
do
gonna get
so
the
much
Epi,
damage.
right?
Tay goes down. The Epi
Ugh.
still drops. Wishfire goes down. Wishfire for Tay. You take that trade.
Not bad, yeah.
But the egg
They did
drops,
have to drop
though.
the
The
egg,
egg
but
is
it's
the
still
problem.
probably worthwhile, right? Like,
Yeah, it's the fuck off egg. Even though they probably weren't, they were rushing, you know, but they probably don't have vision, right?
yeah.
They don't know what's happening.
But like now with the Roshan, they put 35 seconds with Tay, but that's probably the amount of time it takes for a wave to reach the base, so it's not great. It's not great, but listen, sometimes we deal with things in life. Let's have a look at the Zeus's ice progression. So the Zeus is now going for a Sanj in Kaya. Looks like it might do something in against this Timbersaw and this Lifestealer, but it's interesting that nobody has gone for that critical, like Shiva's Guard. The only minus mana regen we have is the Spirit Festival on Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm wondering about this Diffusal Blade on Spectre. Like, would a Manta Scotty have been better? I think so. But I'm
Looks like
below-
it is a go here onto the side of the Grimstroke, but he gets caught immediately. In comes the Gab Centaur, but the Gab Centaur is paper mache. Meanwhile, Tay gets a jump in. Not quite enough. Young Handyman has the explosive, but boom, when he goes in onto the Spectre, it is currently a 1-for-1. One buyback out onto the Nyx, but it's a dieback onto the Nyx. Wishfire down. Meanwhile, the Centaur is dieback as well, but he looks like he's just as screwed as the Nyx was. 1, 2, Uniflu, he just about survives. But it is a 3-for-4 in the last few minutes. with one buyback expended, it's looking scary. The Leicester is still unstoppable. This game is looking close to over.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's just an overwhelming teamfight ability. Like they're throwing everything at the wall to kill the supports, and they're barely getting there, and they're just dying in response. Massey attempting an optimistic TP that he's gonna pull off. Incredible optimism, glass half full. You know, sometimes it gets you places.
This
I
axe
agree.
on the lifestealer, honestly, it's doing work. I know it ended him up in the fountain, but fuck it, he lived from it. Who cares?
What do you think about it, right? So like, if the Zeus tries to jump away, you're still inside him. If the Spectral Daggers away, you're still inside him. If the Nyx tries to Vendetta away, it has some merit.
Honestly, I think that it has a lot less to do with the Ags and more to do with a 32k net worth lead.
Shut up, Ian. We're
Like,
trying to give some credit here.
I think it's fun. I think it's great. I don't know if he picked it because he thinks it's good. I don't know if it's better than a lot of potential alternatives, but it is sure fun as hell to watch, so I'm totally down. Oh, looks like they're going to make at least one last attempt to defend. Oh, attempts to go in, but gets broken and brought down.
Trying his fucking heart out. He is just... he
Like,
keeps
the Nature's
overextending,
Prophet
it's
is
hard to fight.
currently a higher net worth than the Spectre. Like, he's, like, which is the highest net worth on 420 Coomers.
And I mean, like...
Oh, okay, so he stays in it. All right, thanks for the science, guys.
Oh, I missed that.
I appreciate that. No. Okay, so we learned. So it kind of just functions where if Phoenix is in ulti's, Lifestealer just kind of stays in him.
Does it take points off? Oh, the GG call.
Nah, there we go. Yeah, okay, thanks for the science. I was hoping we would see that interaction. He kind of seems
Does it
to
take pips
willingly
off?
pop out of it. Huh?
Does it take
No, it
pips
doesn't
off?
take points off the egg. It doesn't, at least I don't think it does. He wasn't in it for very long.
Hold
He
on.
just basically immediately popped out of it, but he was an intentional pop out. Not
We can test this live on stream.
if you wanna, go for it. Okay. Well, that was an interesting game. That honestly, I think that the draft very heavily favored Murakami Souljas far more than the game did. So I think it was a pretty good performance on the part of 420 Coomers.
True. They just picked the chunky boys. And
They just picked the
how do
chunky
you
boys.
do enough damage to kill them?
I think there's going to be like a lot of stuff moving into the next draft, like potentially a lot of changes that they need to look at. I do not think you can first pick a centaur here. I think he's a good. I think he's a good, like a good hero. I think Gavs is like competent on that hero. I think he's like a high contest rate hero. I just don't think he's someone you can first pick and expect to have a particularly large impact in the game, right? Because you just get Lifestealer. Right, you have to lane against like you end up having to play against a Timbersaw, right? You end up in these situations,
right?
Huh?
It's a pretty big chunk. If he gets it, guy chunks
Sure.
you down.
I don't know if you're making a reference to something or a segue or
I'm
what.
not. But what I will say is that is the end of our game 1 between the side of Sad Coomers and the side of Murakami. We're going to take a slight break now for the next 5 minutes so that we can pee, and then we will be back just in time for game 2.
Oh, no,
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you will stick with us, guys. See you in a bit.
Hold on, we're doing a bit of science. Yep, he doesn't take pips off the Phoenix. Alright, we'll resume once game 2 starts. So everybody enjoys some smooth jazz.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da. for me.
5
So
seconds.
thank you guys.
I thought you were
I'm-
stumbling over your words, trying to find a better way to say piss, but you just said piss.
I think courtesy piss works quite well.
Ten
My name, as
seconds.
always, if you don't know me, I'm Ron Tell. I'm an independent Irish caster.
5 seconds.
We do our best. I'm joined, as always, by two of my wonderful friends, Magic Ian and
Radiant
Waffle. Magic Ian, give me an introduction here. How did last game go?
Last game went better than I think I was. Well, at least than I was expecting it to, but still not great for 420 Sad Coomers. There was a sign of legitimate life, as in, I think if they play things a little bit differently in the mid game, that game could go very differently. But Murakami Soldiers kind of both flexing a better draft and perhaps better discipline in how they ended up playing that mid game.
I'm gonna come to Waffle in just a moment, but we see immediate picks here. The Grimstroke out from 420 Sad Coomers, denying it from Murakami, who picked it last game,
Yeah.
and the Dark Willow pick up from Murakami in response. Waffle, what did you think of last game?
Well, first off, I'm upset that you're dead naming me. I'm now known as Dirt Goblin.
Oh, my
So,
apologies.
watching.
My apologies for the dead naming.
You should.
As someone
you
with a
should use
master's,
my
as
proper
a
title.
master's degree that specialized in defending trans youth, my apologies that I didn't obey by your new name.
Yeah, I've transitioned to scurrying around in your bin.
Radiant's
looking
banned.
at scraps. Anyway, yeah, last
Radiant's
game,
pick.
I'm Team Mousy. You know, Mousy's he's a cool
Of
guy.
course.
I want them to take a game off Murakami. They're very dominant. They were dominant last time. They're dominant now. But I think their draft was maybe a little poor. I think
10 seconds to
they
go.
went for a sort of global pickoff strat against three big
5
chunky
seconds.
boys, which
Yeah.
doesn't really work very well. When all of your cores
Now, what-
have over 4,000 HP, you know, it's a little rough to try and base it around blowing them up at the start.
I think they're already off to a better start, right? They picked Grimstroke first instead of Centaur. I think that's like actually they banned Centaur. I figured like you don't pick Centaur first unless you have a plan. Clearly, they had some idea of how it was going to work, and it just didn't work out.
Well, I told you this at the start of last draft, and I'll say it again. Tay, who was the offlaner for the side of Murakami, is a Centaur player,
No,
right? Like that's his thing. So I imagine it was more of a deny pick than
yeah,
a legitimate strategy pick. And
They
it's
ended up
nice
banning
of
it
them falling back on their own kind of style now. That's kind of, it seems like they've been like, okay, we tried the deny pick strategy, it didn't work. Let's do what we're comfortable with.
yeah. I believe they ended up Grimstroke. Great first pick. Very strong hero. Very flexible hero. Works with a lot of different, in a lot of different ways.
What?
Ench was
Who's
not expecting
this?
that. Purges off the Inkswell. That's interesting.
But
Very
when was
strong
the last time
laner.
I saw an Ench pick?
I haven't seen one in a while. She only really seems to be very popular at literally the upper echelon of the Dota 2 pro scene. As in,
10
at
seconds to
TI,
go.
like the top 4 teams all played Ench and nobody else did. She's a
Yeah.
strong laner. She works, like she does actual work. A lot of confidence, though, in this one coming out. Does purge off the Inkswell, which is fair, but also prone to getting exploded by magic damage. So I'm
And
sure
doesn't
this,
purge
has to
off
feel
the
put away.
ult, right? Importantly.
Doesn't purge off the. Oh, you mean the Grimstroke ult?
The Linky Link. The only hero
Yeah,
we've seen
no.
so far.
No, she only purges off Inkswell, and purging off Inkswell just causes it to proc too. So it's kind of a complicated thing, but it's still something, right? It still works, and perhaps honestly, just in a flat lane setup situation, she probably beats the shit out of Grimstroke just as a 1-to-1 trading, which is something. But it'll take the rest of the draft before we understand exactly what their plan is for this Enchantress. She's normally used sort of as a hedge, where you pick her in a lane where she basically guarantees a pretty solid matchup, right?
One thing I want to point out here,
Magic.
Magic Ian, is that we've had over half of the reserve time used for the second pick for the Summer Fat Coomers.
That's a lot of reserve time.
You're
They've
picking-
seen
Yeah,
a little
well,
bit.
Okay, here we go.
blindsided
Here
by
goes the pick. The pick is the
Hold
punch.
this. What?
Now,
All right,
I'm
things
so
have
confused.
very,
right?
very rapidly gone off the rails.
So
I
for the side of
know-
Mouse's Stack, who is their pudge player? Because we know that there's a
Gav?
pudge player on, like Blinks is a pudge player, but I think there's
10
Gavs on
seconds
the
to
side of
go.
Mouse's Stack, right?
I think it's Gabs. I think Mousy can play it
Nile-
too.
Nile plays
5
Pudge
seconds.
on Murakami as well. I don't know. Is this going to be
Yeah.
a support? Is this some weird saving thing?
I'd be shocked if it was a support. I mean, I guess does it even work out that if as Ench you just like you hook kill her creeps? I don't think that's worth it. I don't think that's worth it at all.
I mean, they
Uh,
have two.
It wins the lane though, right?
Pudge?
Radiant's pick.
Oh, and then goes to the next pick now. It is a
Hoodwink, so it's
Mousy.
definitively.
Mousy. No. No question. No question. There's only one boy I know who still plays fucking Hoodwink mid, and it's Mousy.
You might actually be right about that. My instinct would be support, but you could be correct. Mousy
He's
does
the
play it.
only
I don't think
person
Wish
I
play
know who
does.
plays
10
mid.
seconds to
I
go.
don't,
Still,
I
to
don't think
this
I've ever
day.
seen Wish play it.
Now,
Sure
I'll
about
put
Tofu
fucking
Enjoy?
money down on it.
5
This is a Mousy Hoodwink mid. And he's very fucking good at it. But
If
Yeah,
we're
it could
making-
be.
gives a
if we're
break to the
making crack-
Enchantress, right?
If we're making crackhead predictions, I'm gonna say it's a Dark Willow pause 1.
No, Niall plays a lot of Dark Willow.
Oh,
Nah,
makes
plays
a lot
it.
of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it plays a lot of Dark
the,
Willow.
but the hoodwink pick, like Mousy is a hoodwink mid. That's what he does, and it makes sense. It's the end. You get that break. It makes sense to the Dark Willow. You get that. I mean, you can still hit it to a certain extent if it's low health. But it's an interesting pick nonetheless.
I think part of this is that although these are not like Hoodwink and Pudge are basically not pro meta heroes whatsoever, there's a lot of like flexibility here that they just didn't have earlier on in their draft. Pudge could be 2, 3, or 4, technically
Or one.
speaking, right? He's probably not going to be strong in any of those positions, but he could be any of them.
Earthshaker. Once again, a lot of flex, right?
Interesting. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
lot of
maybe
flex, mid or
assuming
offline as
They'll
well.
just lane it against
Probably.
the Pudge, wherever the Pudge goes.
I
Not in
think
any of the top 5 of any. Like we've done some research here. Not in any of the top 5 of any of their 5 players.
yeah, I think
10 seconds to go.
I think the idea is that they're afraid of a Dark Willow 1 and like a support
5
Earthshaker or
seconds.
something. I find a Dark Willow 1 very unlikely. And consequently, I don't think there's anywhere else Earthshaker. Like, Earthshaker is almost certainly a core here. But still flexible.
You think
still,
is it Tay
playable.
or mid?
Hard to tell, honestly. Really depends on the matchup. I'm wondering what the intent is here. We'll see after the next pick what fits the best, but I don't think there's like it could be either. I don't think they picked this necessarily for one person. I think it could be both. I don't see any. I don't think Tay or
Well, here comes the next pick. It is the Morphling.
Morphling.
So
Okay,
they've showed their 1. They've showed what is assumably their 3 in the side of the Earthshaker. I mean, Earthshaker and Sand King are not that different, right?
I don't know.
So
I
we
think they're
assume
very
it's a
different.
3
10 seconds to go.
I think they're quite
They both
radically different.
stun. They both kind of jump in.
They both have
You know,
stun,
they like having
right?
people close to each other.
They both have really
You know,
nice
there's some
voices.
stuff there.
I don't know. I think they're played especially now. They're played like maybe in the past they were closer together, right? When Teamfight Heroes used to be all similar and Centaur and Slardar were literally the same guy, but just like slightly swapped around.
Can we see it? Like, actually, genuinely question. The Slardar for the side of 420 Sidecomers here is free, right?
I mean, you'd line up against a Morphling. Not quite. Not quite. I don't think this was a great. Like, you'd have to. Part of Slardar is that he kind of wants to get a good
Oh, here we
lane.
go. Pick in. And here's the Lina
That's
pick.
Mousy. That is Mousy.
That's a
That's
Mousy.
Mousy.
You reckon?
That's gotta be
More than the
Mousy.
Hoodwink?
It's also very good here.
It's a very good Lena game, and I think it's Mousy. I think they're giving Hoodwink to maybe Tofu Enjoyer, and then it's
Yeah, we don't
Wishfire
know
Grimstroke.
Tofu Enjoyer because he is
10
a
seconds to
Dota
go.
buff blocker, isn't he?
Is
Let's
he?
look what
No, I
Tofu
don't think
Enjoyer
he is.
has
He's
here.
not. He's not. He's not. I don't actually. I don't think any. Maybe. I can't find.
We have
Ethnic
nothing
yet.
for him.
We do. We absolutely do. I found stuff for him. I found stuff for Tofu Enjoyer. He's
Well,
the
you didn't
last on
fucking
the list.
write it in, you prick.
I totally did. Hold on. Let me check. Let me double check here. I totally wrote
Yeah,
that in.
look, you prick. Yeah, have a look. Have a look.
Where
Have a
did you
look.
send
You
this? Where
fucking
did
prick.
we have a little
10
spreadsheet, a
seconds
little
to go.
casty spreadsheet for like talking points. Where did you send this?
Yeah,
to me?
and Kian
5
lies.
seconds.
That's all I can say.
I
Anyway, we're waiting for the
absolutely have
last pick
that
now from Murakami.
They have a weird
Looks
select
like they
value.
kind of need something that's going to do a lot of damage, right? Right now, they have like not much early game damage. They need some fucking lane control going here.
I do agree very much
What
with
do you
that.
think? Like, what do you think is the lane control they need? Maybe like a rotating mid.
Needs to
No,
be
they
something
have
that lanes
Lina
well
for
against
mid.
Lina.
for Murakami,
Oh,
you
oh,
said.
for
They ban the
yeah.
Slark and they ban the Spectre. And meanwhile, on the side of 420, they ban the Viper and they ban the Huapa Pain.
On
So we're
420
waiting now for the
Coomers-
420 side comes.
On
and they have
420
very
Coomers,
low
they're going to
reserve
need a
time.
strong laner because they've got what is likely a
10
Hoodwink
seconds to
5.
go.
What do you think of the
so-
Timbersaw here? I think Timbersaw is insane
5
here,
seconds.
right?
Again, on which side?
On the side of 420 Sadcoomers.
No.
I mean, they need a carry, right? Oh, it could be carry Pudge. I guess that's not unheard of.
Harry Lena.
No, Lena's not played as a right clicker anymore. Not even a little. They just kind of bodied that entire play style. So she's a very strong magic damage dealing core, but only
7
really
seconds.
playable.
Will they get randomed? 5, 4.
That would be funny. Nope. What do they got? Faceless Void. Okay. Not a bad matchup.
Oh, immediate pick. Puck.
Yeah.
Oh,
makes sense.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's awful.
It's
they've got
a
the
really
catch.
good puck game.
They've got the catch. They've got the grab. She's is like good at catching the supports. Maybe a little weak into Grimstroke.
So Young Handyman, whose phone name is Strapping Young Handyman. I've seen this guy play puck before. He's crazy. Like, this guy is tapped on puck. So
Okay.
I'm leaning Murakami, not because I think their draft is good, because I actually think it's not very good. But this puck on Young Handyman, they don't have anything. Like, so obviously you have the Chronosphere, but it's who jumps who, right? Wishfire Hoodwink. Mousy
I do think that's fair. I do think that's a fair. Like, it is going to be more about who grabs who, but I do think it's a much easier start maybe for Murakami soldiers. Right, they've got the hook and they've got the chrono really to start fights for Sad Coomers, which is high commitment and also or unreliable. Whereas Murakami soldiers have those scouting orbs into like an Ench who can just body in a way that a Hoodwink can't, right? Who can just like walk up a high ground with her stuff on. So I would put it towards Murakami soldiers. I also think maybe the lane of Hoodwink plus Faceless Void is not great into Earthshaker, who's just very good at dominating the lanes.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm saying Sad Coomers have this, baby. Let's go Sad Coomers train. Can we get a Sad Coomers choo-choo in the chat, please? That's what
I'm gonna go with Murakami soldiers, but I think this game is a lot closer in the draft than the last one was. And despite
there's
how
no
close
live series unanswered.
Everybody gets set.
yeah, there's nothing here doesn't have an answer. I think things are a little awkward. I don't think everything has answered all the way. For example, again, I'm not sure about the. Oh, I guess it's is Tufo going to be laning with the Faceless Void? Oh yeah, no, he is. No,
Yeah.
that could work. That might actually work. So I'm.
5 Void flashes away.
I'd say that last time it was like 80-20 from the draft in favor of in favor of Murakami soldiers. Here it's like 55-45. I don't think it's like I think
close?
I like their draft better, but I
So-
don't think that it's significantly better. I just think that I like it more, but I don't think it's necessarily that much better.
I've checked Wishfire's Dota buff, and he has a 65% win rate on Hoodwink over 22 games.
30 seconds
Not
to
bad.
showtime.
That's not a lot of games, but yeah,
It's
no,
not
he's
a lot of
like,
games, but you know, it's better than
That's
my
something.
win rate on Hoodwink. Put it that way.
If I can give you another stat, I've just finished my full bottle of wine. It's 100% finished. And we're kicking off into game 2. So we have 4 heroes on the side of Sad Coomers.
We should have a graph for that. We should have like a map, just like and or casters are this percentage through the alcohol they brought.
And they're
I'm on my list.
I mean, I think my therapist has one already. It's called like their fucking Christmas bonus. Anyway, we end up seeing a 2 for
Mousy
2.
missing the stun and stun level 1 on Lena. That's
The Gav's Pudge coming in here though. He has hook in 5 seconds. He's walking in onto this Dark Willow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Does he get the hit?
slowed?
Here we go.
He should hit
Oh,
that.
He gets
Should work.
someone down, goes the Hoodwink. Gavs gets the first blood onto the Hoodwink. And a tip from there onto Huelan.
I assume it's Whelan, right? Spelled wrong.
Well,
Whelan.
so Huelan is like, so I know this. So, as somebody who teaches a lot of students from a lot of countries, it is an actual Arabic name for, it's a girl's name, is Huelan. So I'm going to say Huelan on the other side as that, but it could be Whelan.
You
I
want to
suppose
have
we
your
have to like
Whelan is a place that people go
profession known
sometimes,
Just after
so-
saying you drank a full bottle of wine on a Sunday night.
Well, no,
bottle of
I'm
wine.
teaching tomorrow, but like, it's a movie day. So, you know, it's fine.
I feel
Well,
like every
good.
Monday's a movie day. And
Yeah.
my
movie
mind's
day.
clapping.
The movie is
Actually, what
watch
do you
me
say?
throw up.
Waffle, you've known me a long time.
Dirt
I'm doing
goblin.
better than I
Come on,
used to
man.
do, okay?
Alright, that looks.
Let's look at these
how's it
matchups. So
going?
we have. I think the most interesting here is we have the Lena versus the Puck. So that is a very
Oh.
skill-based matchup, right?
Oh
my line.
no!
Oh, do they get a kill
never
to-
trade with
Oh.
Dark Willow like that. And
Yeah,
the
Dark
team,
Willow.
that's well.
Devastating. Well, immediately there were... Wow, lots of... This... I can't believe we won most toxic team. That does not make any sense at all. I'm actually still offended about that. I want that I want those votes redrawn.
You need to stop belly laughing.
If I can,
Maybe
if I
laugh
can put
from
things
the
into
throat.
context. So when we last played as a 5-second person, we were playing against this team, and they seemed very good. We always thought they were good because they had very expensive computers, and we thought that meant good. They were really bad. Why it's paused now? Perfect time for me to tell the story. They were very bad. I was playing Lich, and they had a Spirit Breaker who was getting very angry. I mean, very angry. And Kian, our dear captain at the time, said, "Mark, buy a smoke, follow the Spirit Breaker for the next 15 minutes, and just ice blast him whenever he tries to jungle." So I did. And they got very upset. And every now and then I throw a chain frost on his jungle camp, and he'd die. And one of the times it happened, our dearest Magicia jumped out of his fucking chair, went, "Whoa, hey!"
That was something else. that was one of the many other things that
Tofu
happened.
and Joyer looks like he's going down. Tofu and Joyer goes down to Tay. Tay on this Oz 3 Earthshaker. Yeah, not easy.
Yeah, that's twice.
And meanwhile, this Puck taking a solid lead of our mid as well.
Puck
Like
versus
this,
Lina, I think, is a little more than a little. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Puck
Yeah.
is-
Neither of them should get devastated, right? Like, as in, like,
Neither
they're
of them
both
should
fully
get
capable
devastated,
of
but it does feel
farming
good
out.
for Puck.
No, but if I could add like an extra wrinkle, like Mousy is from Donegal. You know what I mean? So
We're just gonna
Yeah,
throw that out
that.
there just to remind
yeah, we
people.
have to throw that out there, right?
A lot more this time. I think maybe a fairy trinket would have been nice. Or, what's
This
it called?
is-
Fairy fire.
Very.
Actually, maybe going a little bit worse than the last game did in the laning phase.
It might be a little
yeah.
tilted.
Not being able to my problem with the Earthshaker lane is that the whole point of that hero is that if he can lane, he will crush you, but he's not very good at being in lane. As in, if you can force him out, he's like not very good at resisting that.
Oh, meanwhile, it looks
You're
like a
gonna-
go from Gav onto Niles. Looks like Niles is kind of screwed here, but a stun out from the Morphling saves him.
fine.
But meanwhile, I will say one of the big differences between last game and this game is Niles is having, it's like Gav is having a much better game than the last game, right?
True, yeah, he's actually almost
Like,
going
much
even
better.
or going close to even
And
with
he's
the
very
Morphling.
close, very, very close to his Vanguard. 3 minutes.
It's more so that the rough lane matchup seems to be going the way of SC420. He's having a rougher time of it than he did last game.
I think
Jacob
wanna
mode, I
flame
think, is what we
here,
went for.
But Tofu and Joyer, 2 deaths in lane, still level 1 at 4 minutes. I mean, if you're
Level
getting
one?
like if you're level 3 on the
that
Grim
is
Stroke at the moment,
horrible.
you could probably like start forcing out. Or if you're level 3, you definitely could be level 3. I feel like, or 2 at least, and you can start
Hiding
like
from Dark Willow.
maybe going for kills on the Dark Willow or even the Earthshaker if he falls low. But now
Yeah.
it feels more like a survive lane, like putting 2 points.
But like,
on
there's
the
no
board.
like as I was saying, like there's no like Earthshaker is incredible at just freezing you out, right? He just like he will basically guarantee the deny on every range creep in every wave. He's just if he's allowed to sit in the lane and you are a melee player hero that has to walk up, you're done for, right? Like there's no real way to last hit against that, and that's outside of the kill threat that he has with the Dark Willow. So I'm a
If
little
I could add to,
scared.
I enjoy Toxic Irish Door too. The Dark Willow is continuously high-fiving whenever she lands a stun. Here comes another one.
I think Tofu's dead. I
Oh,
think
wow.
he's dead. Yeah,
Oh, here we go.
walked
Tofu's
right into
dead.
it, I think.
Yeah. Third
The
death,
Lina
Tofu.
team-
Mousie's rotating?
Oh, he
Misses the
misses
stun.
the stun.
He's
That's
level
rough.
5, and now he's stuck up here.
That's rough. Now that's just
Rough one.
secured. That TP is secured mid for
Yeah. Young
I think it's TP Square is going to take the tower, right?
Yeah. No, he's going to
Was
put a
he
lot of
gonna
damage
do
into it. But he's also going to
Combo wave is spawning it now, though, right?
Dyer's mid-tower.
He's going to take the tower.
Yeah, it's coming now. But he should be able to get stacked to defend it on time. But I do feel like he's going to hit 6, and he's going to be able to coil the Lina. Like, he might be able to kill Mousy.
Not
Or at
from
the very
full
least,
HP.
force them away, right?
You'll need
maybe
to,
like 1 or
I'd say
2 a little
Mousie's
in
gonna
down.
have to be on half HP, maybe like 60%. With a rotation from maybe
Okay, double TP rotation here coming in. Wishfire coming in on the top lane. Looks like he's going to try to take a kill onto the side of the Dark Willow. Gets him with the stun, but doesn't look like it's enough. He has a slow in from the Grimstroke. Not quite enough yet,
This
but he
could
has
be,
the stun.
yeah.
Look,
Not
they
really
might take
getting
out the
it.
Grimstroke here. One bash, and it's always like some camp which
Give me a revenge kill.
Yeah, he gets a revenge kill, I think. No, never mind.
Scurry away. Well played by Wishfire. Leaving Gavs on his own,
Worthwhile.
but Gavs doesn't
Yeah,
seem to
he's
mind.
fine.
He's got his Vanguard finished up.
Gavs is fine.
Yeah, he's doing okay. He's actually outlast hitting the Morphling, which is nice. He's like this is kind of an inversion of the last game. Although to be fair, mid lane's actually pretty even. Like even with Mousie's excursion to the top lane to miss a stun,
Mousie's
he's
ahead?
still doing pretty well. Yeah, he's still doing pretty well.
Mousie's ahead? He's 100 ahead?
Waves got pushed into tower, so he's just gonna farm that up. But it like he should be more than one wave behind. Right?
This is where your game starts to get a little more comfortable on Lena. He's just about to finish his mana boots. And once you have that, you can spam out your Q a lot more. You can just push out the wave and take jungle camp. Things just get a little more pleasant for you.
Yeah, that's very nice. Oh, Massey's back.
He's just
Oh,
walking
and so
in.
is young
He's like,
Handyman.
Tay's going on here. Handyman comes in. Does he have the stun on the side of the Dark Road? No, level 3. He's fucking killing. Oh, but a stun out from the Lena onto Tay.
don't
Tay
think
trouble
that's
here.
gonna be
But
enough.
no
Might be a
bash
kill.
yet. And here comes the other 3 heroes.
Yeah.
Side unfortunately in trouble. Tucker Fries gets out. Bo Jacob, I think his name is. Meanwhile, Mousy
Mousy,
drops the
they're good.
Laguna, and he's probably dead as well. Down goes Mousy.
Get up if you can.
That's unfortunate. That's
Peter?
really devastating.
That feels like a bit of a tip.
L plus ratio plus you're from Donegal.
Yeah, I feel like
He's
did.
too used to playing Vagar with his sorcerer
Yeah.
shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, got calls out here. Huge thank you to the raid from T Governor. T Governor, of course, our favorite caster of Dota 2 Ireland, but over to the international community. Welcome to the Irish Dota 2 League scene. And my name is Run and Tell. We are indeed amateur casters. We are doing our best, so please stick with us, guys. I will answer any and all questions you have in the chat. Welcome. Thank you so much, T Governor. We love you. Of always. Thank you so much for always dropping by. So, once again, to fill you guys in who are new, this is a game between Sad Coomers 420. Yes, this is the Irish scene. And indeed, a game in between them and Murakami. Sad Coomers, big underdogs right now. They're 1-0 down, but also a lot lower on MMR. And
They've got a plucky can-do attitude. They've got the
Meanwhile,
spirit.
Tay shows that there is no can-do attitude. Fuck you. He takes you out. Your can-do attitude ain't worth shit.
Can-do attitude doesn't do a lot to getting Echo slammed in the face. That is unfortunate. Not great.
Highly unfortunate. At the moment, 2K net worth lead at 8 minutes for this side of Murakami. Murakami is well one of the highest MMR stacks in the Irish scene. And I will say to all of you who are English Dota Chads, can I get some English Dota Chads in the chat? Go ahead. It's the only time I'll allow English to express themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do come by at some point for our competitions. We run international competitions in Ireland all the time. They are great fun. We drink, we have crack. Come by. You're more than welcome. In actuality, this game is 7 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to explain that one.
Tofu and Jorah goes down again, but Tofu and Jorah dying is not a major casting moment, so I'll take that.
He's having a rough lane. He had such a good performance last game, and this game he's just kind of getting bullied by a Dark Willow into getting bullied by the entire enemy team. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Wishfire is sort of picking up the slack though. He's made a couple of decent rotations.
Yeah, Wishfire is moving around. In fairness, he had quite a good performance last game as well. I think he has significantly less solo kill potential this time around than he did last time, though, right? As in,
yeah, he was
last
Nyx
time
last
he
time.
It's
He was Nyx last time with a Zeus ult.
Nyx
Whereas
versus
this
Hunter.
time-
Yeah, and a Zeus. But I feel like this time he's more about just he's just more about assisting in kills, right? He's just gonna get the stun. He's gonna get his fucking whatever 1,000 damage from sharpshooter get down, and just helping the burst.
Very true. Like there's other heroes that can kill, which are a lot stronger than they were last time. Oh, it looks like they're gonna make a go on the Faceless Void for SD. He's turning around.
If I can.
Oh my
He's
god!
fine. Looks like they look down
that's
Honeyman,
not the
but he
stun.
mixes the stun. 1, 2, skid it out. Mousy takes him out. Down
was
goes
so
the puck.
cathartic.
He's still got a DD and the.
Oh, where did Gapus come from?
Jumps in.
Oh, and the burst
Takes out
comes
the
out.
Morphling.
Perfectly,
Huge.
perfectly
2-4-0
camouflaged. Holy
exchange.
shit. Where was he? Incredible.
No
He
blink
doesn't need a
dagger even.
blink.
I think he just walked in.
I
Yeah, no, I
Nervous.
think he was. Did he walk through the portal? I didn't even notice.
Radiance
And I'm not even playing the game, and I didn't notice that. Unfortunate. Well done from Gabs. He's having a complete turnaround in the game to the last game, where he
We have a
went from the
commentator
lowest
from
net worth
T-Governor
hero on his
calling,
team.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to interrupt for a second. We have a commentator from T-Governor saying that he is interested that the core player is called SadCum420. For my dear fans, I know we have a lot of people viewing right now, so I'm going to explain the story once again, just for you guys. Because we love you in the Irish Dota scene. We love when you guys come by. We love you to come by again. Let me explain to you the origins.
I don't know if we
mythos.
should explain the origin of this one, dude.
No. Leave the origins out of this.
Yeah, I don't think you're. I don't explain the origin.
Take him down with a adaptive strike from
My
Morphling here.
dear Brits, allow
No,
me.
no, no,
let
no,
me-
no, no, no,
I will
do not-
mute you on Discord.
Yeah, don't. This is gonna remain an inside one for us. We're good. We're good on that one. That's
my
the secret. You guys have
apologies.
to come more often.
We want more streamers and casters supporting us, not less.
No, it's not good. It's not a good thing.
My
it's a story of
apologies,
growth.
you guys. They think you're less than human. I don't agree. But listen, my co-casters have told me that they think that you are, and I quote this, subhuman rats. So there's nothing you can do about it. I'm sorry, guys.
I'll take
Mousy
that. I
getting
think
a
that's better
kill
than
onto
Mousy with the
fucking mid
turnaround
lane.
kill.
I wish
Yeah,
I
here
wasn't
we go.
distracted to watch
Double
that.
kill.
Yeah.
Shit.
Absolutely.
I'm so
cackling.
sorry, guys.
Oh, fuck's sake.
All right. We're gearing up here. We're gearing up here.
gearing up.
Professional
Yeah,
casting.
something bad.
Yeah, we're professionals. That's what we do.
Classic Lena build here.
Do something
He's got
about
his
that
8th lens finished up.
This
You
is
gotta
going
give credit
better.
where credit's due. It's 1k net worth in it
Yeah,
at 12
it went
minutes,
down.
which at this point it was like 16k last game, so pretty close.
No, well, last game it was
Oh,
actually
Gab's
pretty
coming
even.
in.
But it was.
With the hook up on
Oh,
its Tay,
the
huge hook
confidence.
into this double Grimstone, into this member, dead Tay, and Tay was the highest net worth. So there's over 500 gold going into that pocket of Gabs. Gabs
is
Comparison
playing out
last
of
game
his
having a
mind.
great game.
Gab's not having to have his hero picked first and counted by every enemy core. He's really enjoying it. He's taking his revenge for all of those tips that he
Although we
received.
will say Gab's 4th highest picked hero on Dota buff is the Pudge, so it was something they should
Making
have
it
worked out
work.
for.
Honestly, for like a second pick Pudge, right? Like he first pick Centaur got absolutely demolished. Second pick Pudge, best performance in the game so far. So good for him. He's really making it work. He just needs to have his hero picked one later.
For those of you joining from T-Governor's stream, the Irish Dota scene, if you want to see meta heroes and the meta way of playing
No.
the game, this ain't for you,
No.
bud. This ain't your grandma's
Get
Dota
out. Get
tournament,
out.
okay? There's
Actually,
no...
this might be more akin to your grandma's Dota. When was the last time
Yeah, I might be.
Pudge was meta?
Yeah.
Top tower.
Okay, maybe maybe so. But listen, people
Maybe if
play
your grandma's
comfort
really
here,
cool and
They
fun.
play fun and they play for flashy
Your grandma's
plays,
got a
so it's
hot
lot of
pussy.
fun.
I might want to mine the top tower.
So fine performance. Ignore that.
Has lost the top tower.
He's got a blink coming soon on
Smoke
Gabs.
here, smoke here for the side of the
playmaking-
Coomers. Look like they're
the
going here
playmaking
onto the
potential.
hook.
Right? Pretty huge. Like they're making the
Hook is
wraparound.
isolated. Smoke broken onto Wishfire, smoke broken onto Gabs. Looks
Okay,
like they're going to go onto
This went.
Courier.
This is no longer very subtle. Looks like Wishfire is probably gonna get cleaned up. Yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Okay. All right. They got a little over enthusiastic there. Very, very understandable. It happens
They
to the
got a
best of
You want
us.
to look like Mousey's going down as well?
Thanks for playing.
Okay, as
And
well
that
as
was-
this game was going,
Oh,
for
this
Gabs
was,
too silly and or goofy.
Yeah,
Morphling
there's-
taking the Pudge form.
We've all been there. We've all gotten a little bit overzealous because we're smoked, and we all think we're gods, and then we walk in and feed. That happens. It happens. It happened to every single one of us. Don't worry about it. This is
Which
exactly
one's
how the
Smoke is
other
made of?
game turned as well, right? As in they got overzealous and a little bit undisciplined, and then just fed a bunch of kills. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's not over yet. No, it's still just like maybe they need to be a little more careful. You know, just a little, just a tad.
The problem right now is, I
Ooh.
know this sounds shit, but it's true as last game. What answers the Morphling?
Is that the blink reveal?
I don't know. I just think I don't think a lot was revealed. I think.
I think they have good answers to the Morphling if they can get him in a chrono. If they can catch him in a chrono before he morphs, obviously, but even after he morphs with the burst from Hoodwink, maybe
Even
they take
Lena,
him down.
right, with the Ags later,
And Lena
like
as well. Yeah,
out
pretty
over
much.
treetops, just explode him, like
I
it's
feel
something.
like anything that gets caught in a chrono this game should just fucking die.
They have a lot of damage.
now-
They have a lot of can. Like it really
But
works.
like
Are they
right now, in
winning?
terms of net worth, top 3 all going to the side of Murakami. A 4K net worth, but not that much, to be fair.
Not that much, no. I think the game's actually at this point going a little bit worse for Sad Coomers than the last one did at this stage. Like last stage, it was pretty even actually, but I think that there's more potential in this game than there was in the last one.
That is a poor faceless fool. This boy wants to.
He's having a rough game.
Instead, he's just been kicked off the jungle. Oh, Wishfire.
Now he clicks the dead button. Very good. Getting. Oh, and Wishfire manages to steal the kill like a good support. He's using it for his ether lens.
To be fair, the face boy still has the mask of mommy.
Yeah, the mom. Yeah, it's
This
you.
is
I mean,
very reminiscent of last season. For those of you who are new, you've got the June squad cast tonight. We're one of the teams in the Irish Dota League.
Yep.
Run and Tell, our coach / analyst. We've got Faith Kian,
Hello.
Danger.
Bye.
Some of you may know him as our captain, and me as our mid laner, the lowest MMR player in division. And last season we were teammates, me and Faith Kian, with Wishfire and Mercy.
I've had so many names this cast. I love it. You're not allowed to refer to me by the same thing twice. That's the rule. That's the game we're playing.
And let me tell you, this Wishfire is somehow managing to steal your kill after you've tried really hard for it.
Yeah,
Exactly
it
like
happens.
last season.
Yeah, very. Some things never change.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing that I've
There's
noticed is
I'm,
the build for he's going for Mjolnir on Faceless Void. This man needs a Black King bar more than anyone's needed a Black King bar in his life, right?
Oh, Niall
Like
stepping up again to near where he's just died before. And
Okay, here comes the smoke.
maybe
Smoke
just about
coming
to
in.
die again.
Chronosphere
it's a
up,
bait.
down.
I think it's a bait.
Looks
I
like
think it's just a bait.
dead. I was dead.
No, I
think it's a
they
good
have
bait.
arrows. Oh.
I think he dies maybe, but he
double
gets the
slam
yeah.
and jab
There we
in
go.
on Yoga Slam. Meanwhile, we get the link in from the side of the Sad Coomers. Double kill for Tay, but it might not last very long. And then he goes into the same door. The face point goes down as well. It's 3 for 1 right now. Only the Enchantress going down to the side of Murakami.
missed the
The
stun.
stun misses on Mousy, but Mousy is still running with his
Duked.
tail hit between his legs, like Donegal in the War of Independence. And he gets out.
No, he's just gonna hide like a coward.
Oh,
Just think about what he's done.
10, 9, 8.
He might
7.
reveal himself here.
I think he
Yeah,
revealed
he-
himself.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's been caught.
unfortunate.
Down goes into the side of Tay. Tay gets him.
Rough.
That's a huge
rough one.
swing. In
Devastating.
that fight alone, 2K net worth swing for the side of Murakami. But regardless of that, the item swing is ginormous.
Mousy
Yeah.
So just a question there from Evolve Plays. Well, Evolve Plays, our first game, Murakami won game 1.
Yeah.
By a substantial
It
margin.
was like a 35 minutes. It was not a close game. It was a close game until it really wasn't. It's like first 20
Yeah,
minutes were like pretty close, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
It does feel like one of Murakami's strengths is they'll just sort of fuck around until they have their item timings, and then they sort of crack their knuckle.
Last time,
Yeah, they're
really
very
did
smart.
seem like Sad Coomers had a shot on, in my opinion. Like from what I don't think it was a controlled thing. I think they played well.
Open wall, here they go. They're going in onto the side of the Wishfire. Wishfire mouse goes down. Wishfire hoodwink. Ding bong, ding ding dong.
They're gonna
Dead.
pick him up on the back line. Yeah, unfortunate. Very difficult game to be a hoodwink. Unfortunately. Oh no. Okay.
Poor Tofu.
And Tofu Enjoyer joins the honor roll, going down. 2 heroes down for the side of Sad Coomers.
8 deaths.
A
He's nearly
now
50.
8K net worth lead.
He's 40% Murakami's kills. That's gotta feel bad. Even though he's
Yeah,
doing
that's
his
rough.
job
He's trying
while
his
he's
best.
feeding, it still doesn't feel great.
It's not a great time to be a tofu enjoyer. Meat's just so tasty.
I think Mr. Sadcom 420 here might just be going for the Mjolnir. He just wants damage. He's just like, whatever I chrono, I want it to die, but
I need to beat Gibby so
he does to
badly.
get the chrono off if last fight was anything to go by.
Like, the only thing in this game is they kill the Morphling, right?
Like they've
I
got
don't even know
damage,
if the
right?
Morphling's that much of an issue yet. Like,
Wishfire's dead again, I think.
okay, as he blows up Wishfire. Oh no,
Oh.
scurry away.
No, he's fine.
He's
How did he
fine.
survive that? I'm kind of surprised.
I think they just
Did he
keep their
miss
spells
the
on.
W?
No,
He might have missed the W on Tay just because of the scurry. That's not. Oh, he's making a go on Nile.
very optimistic.
He's gonna miss. Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know what his
It's
plan
finished
was
up
there.
on the Earthshaker.
But they are set up. They are. Are they under a ward? It looks like they're under a ward. Yeah, this is maybe not a great go. Chronosphere's out. They managed to kill the Dark Willow. Niall's dead.
They get the stun
big
onto
blow
him, doing
by the
Laguna. Big and bang booby.
Incredible.
Down, Young Hanuma down 10. And now it's the 3v3. Down goes Gabs as well. But maybe he can take out this Morphling. Not quite, not enough damage. In comes the Morphling. He is still alive. He is running for his life, but he might turn. In comes this Enchantress. Looks like he did some damage to the side of Sad Coomers, but not quite yet. Morphling turns back into the Faceless Void. 1-2 skill diddle, but he gets out.
All right, that was something. That was like that was a show, right? That fight went in a lot of different directions, but overall, I think Sadcom 420 or God damn it, I hate these names so much. Sad Coomers 420 are like making a show of it. They're actually really putting in the work here, holding on.
They are, now to be fair, it is a 6k net worth lead at 21, which is way less than last game. Meanwhile, in comes Gab for the stun, but he doesn't quite get the hook. So, how do Sad Coomers come back into it? What item makes a difference, Magic Ian?
Oh man, I think okay, yeah. So I think SC420 agrees with me, and he's going back for the BKB. He's got that queued up now. I think that makes a huge difference. Oh, looks like I think feeding away kills is not going to help them out at all. I think the Ags on Lina is going to make a huge difference as well, like the level of damage and the ability to catch people out, right? Being able to come out over the tree line. They're playing against the Puck, they're playing against the Morphling. If they can catch one out with a stun before they have time to react, they can just blow them up, right? So I think those do make a huge difference in this fight. Probably more so the Ags, because I think the potential is there. It's whether or not they get it is one way or another. Again, they do need
Wishfire goes down to the Morphling.
They do need to stop dying, though. That's a very important part of
turning this around. He's just wanting to look at things.
Shadowblade is not something I see very often on Morphling, to be honest. That's new.
Do you think that this was like a do you think it's like a comp pick of Witchfire, or was it a backup pick because they wanted Mousy to go onto this Hoodwink?
I think they had a plan. I think it was part of a plan, and honestly, I don't think it was a bad idea. Like, it does a lot of damage. It's a good follow-up. I think it might be a bit of a comfort thing, right? It's flexibility. I think flexibility is highly underrated from a draft perspective, right? At least for us, for like amateur leagues, right? Most people just pick what they pick and pick what they play, and like a lot of the time you just get your like early pick the support, late pick the core kind of thing. I think flexibility is highly underrated in terms of in this league specifically. Just among like 50 guys.
I gotta call out these fuckers on the side of fucking Mousy Stack. Oh. We played against them once. Banned my hero. Oh, here we go. Down goes the Void.
Very unfortunate getting caught out. He needs that BKB real bad.
Floating nearly 3k gold. That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. Death cost 250 gold. That's
devastating. It's not easy. It's not easy, but this game isn't over, right? Like, I think around this time last game it was over, right? I think that like the game was sealed shut. Whereas over here, a little rockier, but they've held on a lot better than they did in the last game. They didn't just like, I mean, they changed that a little bit.
24 minutes rocky?
Last game was rockier, all right? No, like this game was a little, they didn't quite, like, in the last game, they were like even at 10 minutes, right? They were like, they did okay, especially considering the laning phase was not favored towards them. They did a little better earlier on, whereas in this game, they did a little worse earlier on, but they feel like they're in a better place from behind than they did last game, if that makes sense. Like, there's more signs of life. I think they have a better chance of coming back in this game than they did in the last game. A little bit clunky, like quirk of the draft, where Wishfire is kind of the engine to get the Inkswell down. So he's just like a squirrel aggressively running at you like it has rabies. Is a pretty funny image.
What did you say about Wishfire?
He has rabies. That's what I said. I said Wishfire, not the hero, the man. The man has rabies. Is that because of his hair? I have never seen him before, so I don't know.
Yes, you have.
Does he have rabid hair?
In Dublin.
It's got wizard vibes.
Oh, I did. Actually, I don't remember what he looks like. Does he have rabid hair that of someone who is averse to water?
It's wizardy.
It sounds like he could. Oh, weird.
You can cast like a spell in the Harry Potter prequels.
Philosopher's Stone on Hunter. I
I
don't know how much I like that, considering a lot of your, like a little bit of your damage.
I feel like
he just wants to get items.
Yeah, he just needs the items, and I don't know. I don't think the 30 damage makes a difference. I don't think Acorn Shot's gonna be. I think Acorn Shot's gonna be a major contributor to his damage.
That does feel like a little bit of
Good read from Wish, peeping
a
out.
running theme with 420 side Coomers is their supports having very low net worth.
Yeah, they don't really seem to be great at. I mean, they are playing this from behind, right? Once again, though, Gabs has actually found himself in the exact same position he did last game, despite having a significantly better start. He's like the lowest net worth core in his team, and he's being slowly caught up on by the supports on the side of Murakami. So I'm kind of intrigued.
It seems like the kind of thing they play, which they play very sacrificial on Gavs, right?
I mean, I feel like there's the difference between playing sacrificial and just dying too much.
Oh no.
Well, it is.
Oh, they catch Mousy on the
I
back
think
line, they
do-
catch Witchfire instantly.
They do have a. You know, the meta at the moment seems to be shifting towards giving your off lane a bit more farm priority than the mid, like the mid rotate.
It's glorious, I love it. I love having more farm priority. It's always very nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way we sort of play the game. Depends on what heroes we pick, obviously. But
That's because I take your farm, I think. It has nothing to do with the meta. It's just because I hate you.
I'll kill you.
It's just because I want to see you suffer, and every moment where you are having a good time is a time where I'm unhappy. As an offlaner, I take sheer delight in denying farm to cores. That's just why I do it. Why else would anyone play offlane if not to see the light die in a person's eyes when you deny every creep in a
You
way?
only moved to Amsterdam, so I couldn't beat you.
Exactly. That's, and you'll have to come and get me.
It's not because he was unemployable in Ireland.
I mean, I was decently employable in Ireland. I'm definitely a lot better employable here, though, which is nice. Oh, we've got the Chrono coming out. It looks like he's gonna kill the puck. Oh, he doesn't quite get the Fisher block. Unfortunate. Good go. Almost made a difference there, but
I
it
don't
didn't
think
quite.
they
They
can
get
chase
the
up, but they
Chrono
can
kill.
definitely delay the inevitable.
If they can catch a hook, people are teaming out. There's room. Looks like Tay wants
no
to fight around
vision,
this. Like he's
unfortunately.
playing around his cores. They might try and go on Nile. Yeah, they don't have good vision
The
there.
fog, I would.
What do you mean? Like some kind of fog wizard?
It's in the options.
Oh, they found Nile. I don't know if this is a great. I mean, they don't really. It looks like they're gonna leave him. Oh, he might have to get the hook.
Hook
Oh, he
comes
doesn't get
out.
the hook.
Oh, Mousy gets the
Absolute
stun
hero.
into the Guna. Down goes now.
He accepts his fate and just desperately tries to de-ward like a good support
Meanwhile,
ward.
Tofu and Dora goes down to the Morphling.
Oh, Jesus Christ, poor guy. Having a rough time of it. The Morphling is actually, he has his shard. He has his shard, which could make the difference, like, might make the difference in terms of being able to attribute shift while stunned, which is unfortunate because now you're actually leaving a lot on Tofu to get a silence off, which, I mean, this poor guy.
If he is not playing on tilt, he is like
He's iron steel, yeah. Like the poor guy's just like died so many times this game. They're making a go on Gabs. Are they gonna get him? It looks like they will. Not gonna make a difference.
No.
Is the
ulti
problem,
on
right?
Helena.
No ulti. Yeah.
Went for Shadowblade next. The 2k BKB really coming in here.
That could be good. Like catching out people on the sidelines. Like
Yeah,
not a bad.
Morphling sitting there on full agi. Though the Mage Slayer now complicates things.
Thing is that on the one hand he's got that attribute shift talent or the shard now, which allows him to attribute shift while stunned. On the other hand, he might just have to he could just explode from a stun and a Laguna Blade, right? Before he can even react if he's low enough on agi. So there's potential here.
Faceless Void looking to finish up the Mjolnir. I think a little bit more damage definitely makes a difference. If you go for the Skadi next,
Honestly,
maybe,
yeah. He's doing a pretty good job coming back, considering how devastating his laning phase was. He's doing a pretty good job, like being relevant in the game. He's making life more difficult for Puck. He had nothing, right? It's a very commendable performance. Last game he had a much easier time of it, even though that was not an easy game for Spectre, right? He still did quite a good job, but he had a better laning phase. Here, he's coming at it from a bad laning phase, but he's still managing to have an impact, right? He's still having a good job, doing quite a good job. I think we're seeing a weird mimic of the previous game, right? Even though everything started off the exact opposite, with like the offlane very much struggling to make an impact. He's been passed out. Daz has been passed out in net worth by both of the supports and the enemy team. All right, again, despite having the polar opposite start of being like one of the highest net worth core on his team, whereas SC420 manages to still be like the kingmaker in these team fights, despite going from last game where he had a good laning phase where he came out ahead to this situation where he basically had nothing. But he's managed to claw himself back up the net worth chart. He's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, 14
Good for
K.
him.
Not
Yeah,
great,
it's not
but
perfect, but
in this
the
game,
the
you'll
net
take
worth
it.
the net worth difference here is between the supports and the offlane, right? There isn't that much of a difference between Mousy and his strapping, or just young handyman in this case,
Oh,
and there isn't
God.
that much of a difference between SC and F.
Yeah,
but
poor
to
Gabs
be
has been
fair,
sitting on half an axe for maybe 2
yeah,
minutes.
I don't wanna complain about Gavs too much. He had a good start and then immediately threw body to try and make that space. So in a way, you could say that a lot of that farming is up to him, right?
Yeah.
As in, he has. I think
I mean,
some of his
in
deaths were avoidable.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair to say that in both games you've seen, they've been too sacrificial with Gabs, right?
I feel like there were some mistakes this game on his part, rather than I think the general vibe has been sacrificial. I don't think he needed to be this sacrificial, but you can't make any complaints about how he played this game without understanding that he is doing his job, right? So I would say it's kind of yes and no. He
Part of the void. Maybe a bit of an
does he die? I think
Yeah,
he does.
finish
Yeah,
off Tay.
huge. Absolutely
That's worth
massive.
it.
Pay dies. That being said, I don't know what they. Looks like F is going to
Morphling
find
is
Mousy on the back
indeed-
line.
Ult is up on the budge. Oh, he gets him.
No, it's not enough. Oh, Mousy's dead.
Going in for Macy.
Devastating.
That's
Just because, like, I honestly don't think killing the Earthshaker is enough. I think it needs to be the puck, or it needs to be the
it needs to be
Morphling.
Yeah, puck or Morphling. The Earthshaker is still a good pickoff in terms of sheer gold that you get for him. You know,
That's true. That's true.
it's a bit of an investment. Like he's rocketed up to second on the network chart. After that, though at this stage it's 32 minutes. They're battering down your tier 3s. Maybe you just
That's scary.
want to
Yeah.
kill them. You know,
Yeah.
like it's.
Sure. Just take what you can get.
I think he needs to trust his team maybe a little more and just try.
Oh,
and
Witchfire going for a very optimistic kill.
He is the most optimistic little rabbit squirrel we've ever seen.
I mean,
Going
you
for a
should bite him.
Gleipnir.
Going for a Gleipnir? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I don't know.
That is,
like
those are plans for the future. That's what those are.
maybe try a Glimmer Kit. Sagstorm 420 going in, committing the Mask of Madness. A
They're
risky
getting the
play
kill.
that pays
He
off.
goes down. He does not have Aegis. That is a huge kill. Can they get out? Can they retreat and reset before they die to like the Earthshaker and the puck? It looks like they will. That is absolutely massive. They actually, it must be an overextension from the Morphling. I don't understand how that happened. Oh, but you've got the slam. He does get the BKB off. And he's going in. They find the puck on the back line. They're going in on him as well. Is he going to go down? Does the puck get out? He gets off the face shift. Looks like he's going to try and get away. He manages it, but he jumps back in. And he gets, he finally face shifts at the last second.
Good
Does he manage
Maelstrom
to-
proc might
Does he get
just
bonked?
hit him.
No, he doesn't get bonked. He didn't hit him. But he will try again. Oh, huge.
He got
All right,
him.
the
He got
Mjolnir
the
block.
puck,
All
but
right.
then went down to Tay.
Yeah, this is not nothing. That's a buyback on Tofu, but or Tofu Enjoyer rather, because it feels weird to say Tofu that is in this game. But that was pretty good, right? That was a pretty good high ground defense, picking off the Morphling. Bit of a sloppy team fight, but pretty good, right? Like pretty solid showing. They're at least going to delay the game for a little bit. Might make Murakami feel a little bit nervous going high ground. Might make them wait for the next Roche, which will give them an opportunity to get back into the game. Pretty big. Big twist compared to last time, where the Murakami pushes were basically inevitable. Where once they got ahead, there wasn't really any way to deal with it. This time, signs of life. When you've got a faceless Void Chrono and this kind of damage on your team, right? There's not, like, you're always in the game, you know?
There's never a GG, right?
Yeah, it's never a GG. Not when you've got this kind of team fight. It's kind of like the Magnus rule, right? If you've got a Magnus, or like an Enigma, or any of those team fighters, if you've got one, the enemy team can always fuck up in a way where they get horrendously slaughtered and shoved into Fountain, right? You can always rely on your Fountain.
Oh,
Put
God.
people in Fountain.
3 wisdom runes picked up there by Tay. propelling
Jesus
into level
Christ.
23.
He can
They
see
were
time.
Marinating.
He
I'd
understands
also like
the
to
ending to Sopranos.
I'd also like to point out here, Whelan here, rushing he's getting Blink Wind Waker. Like, if this was in my pub game, I'd be flaming this little dickhead. But I think, like, the only way that, like, Morph and Puck really die this game is getting either chronoed or like pudge ulted and just like feeding in that. The Wind Waker, Blink Wind Waker, you can just sit in the back and then blink
big,
in and save
yeah.
your boys.
You're right. That's a
there's
pretty big
no
deal.
chance of a nullifier coming at any time.
Yeah. Oh, looks like they managed to catch. Is he gonna go down? Is on the Morphling? He will. F takes an L. He's down for 80 seconds. Does the team fight continue? Or are they going to look to make some to avenge their watery friend? Well, it doesn't really matter because it looks like 420 sad Coomers are gonna make the fight happen themselves. They're in hot pursuit. Is a slam gonna come out here, perhaps? No, they're just gonna leave Wheelan to die.
Dyer's top
As
tower
that
can beat
Wind Waker slowly turns into a rapier.
I'm surprised I don't see a Midas Ags Dragonlance from this guy. It seems like that time. Level 25 Dark Willow players don't play support no matter what position they're in.
I don't think I've ever seen a Dark Willow by wards before, so this is kind of a new experience for me. This is huge. Dying twice in a row as a carry is devastating. We're watching SC420 move his way up the net worth ranks to the fact that he's neck and neck currently with F. Like, that is a pretty considerable thing. I will say that the support advantage, right, the difference in the supports is still quite apparent in terms of net worth. Even Gavs is behind both the Dark Willow and the Ench, or I should say their names, Nile and Wheelan, respectively. But this is different, right? That 20k net worth lead is bad, but it's been holding at 20,000 gold for like 10, 15 minutes at this point. Right? There's still signs of life. You've got a chrono. You've got kill potential. Morphling's died twice in a row. He's nervous. He's shaking. You know, he's choking.
He's pissing.
Who knows?
He's shitting in his pants.
He's shitting in his
He does now
pants.
have a Satanic finished up. So if you fail to burst him whatsoever, you leave him on 200 HP, he's
Game's
gonna
over.
press the Satanic and beat the piss out of you.
GG go next. Yeah, it's going to be rough.
AC coming out for Nile. I don't know how much.
Oh, Tay's going to be chasing down Wishfire in the back line. He's not going to find him. Unfortunate. Put down the rabid squirrel. Good juking from Wish. Oh, but on the you've got F. F is not discouraged by two deaths. He's as in as he ever was, and it looks like Wishfire is going to go down. Oh, but in point, you've got Pudge going on Ench. Bit of an overcommittal for a hero that's pretty tanky and doesn't have a high impact. I think Gabs is going to go down for this.
No, he went back. He went back for the BKB. Instead of finishing his eyes, I think he made the smart move.
Good call. Oh, they've caught. Oh, here comes got the Wind Waker coming out. The double Wind Waker? What?
Oh my god, one finished up on Handyman. That's fucking nuts.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
Literally, what can you do? Oh.
That's
okay. Huge initiation. I'm gonna go with huge initiation from Tay. I'm not gonna comment on how he got there.
Blink Dagger.
Opa Dandy. Yeah, perhaps deserved. Sometimes you wonder too much about whether or not you can land a hook. You forget about whether or not you should. Tay is taking some damage here, but I think he's gonna get out pretty much uncontested. Mousy goes down. I'm gonna take a look at the buyback statuses here, but this is not looking good.
Nothing left.
Oh no, nobody except for SC420 has buyback on the side of 420 Kumi. And this looks like this is actually just game. Went from they were holding on very well for quite some time. Real signs of life.
Instead of this butterfly, you should definitely be queuing up a nullifier.
Yeah, if that was a nullifier. Yeah, maybe like a nullifier would have been very important, or maybe more of an emphasis on.
420 putting a lot on his shoulders, and he is failing.
Yeah, he's crushed. His spine is shattered into pieces. It's absolutely devastating. Everyone, no one in that gym will ever be able to go see a barbell ever again without vomiting. Just absolutely horrendous. All right, well, game 2 also goes to Murakami Souljas, which makes this a 2-0. I believe Run and Tell has unfortunately bowed out on account of having to deal with a pressing wine issue. But this has been Run and Tell, Dirt Goblin, and whatever you want to call me, I don't really care. casting Murakami Souljas versus 420 Sad Coomers. Any closing thoughts about what you have how this game went,
Well,
Waffle?
Considering
Or God,
we're-
Dirt Goblin.
Dirt
Sorry.
Goblin, please use my
Dirt
proper
Goblin.
time.
Please, Waffle was my father. Call me Dirt Goblin.
Considering we're going to be playing both of these two teams in the league, I'm scared of Murakami Souljas. They seem like they just fuck around and have fun, and then it hits 30 minutes and they just sort of walk into your base and kill you. They just sort of pin you down and shoot you in the back of the head as you cry for mercy. As hard as you try, like 420 Sad Coomers definitely put up a fight. Was it enough?
There was a fight, considering that there is like several the difference in average MMRs between the teams is like 1,500 plus even. It's entirely possible that this was a pretty good showing from 420 Sad Coomers. I'm actually quite impressed. Not only do they display incredible resilience, I think they learned from some drafting mistakes that they made earlier. I think they demonstrated an ability to go back to the drawing board and think about how they wanted to play the game and how they wanted to draft the game, and then come back with a different idea that went differently and honestly almost worked. Right? If those Wind Wakers don't come out, if that impressive itemization doesn't come out on the side of Murakami Souljas, I think this game could, if not have if maybe they wouldn't have won it, but it would have been closer, right? Yeah. I think if they prepared for that, if they had nullifiers, or if they had maybe checked the inventory of the enemy team and gone, well, we can't go on the Morphling again. That might have made the difference. But it was close. It was definitely close.
How do you go on their team without killing the Morphling first? I feel like he just went pure damage and relied on his team to save him. Like, if you go on the saves, he just kills you after.
I mean, prayer? Have you ever tried the power of prayer?
I've tried the power of positive thought, and currently I'm a drug addict.
All right, well, thanks to... I guess we're going to have to call it for the night. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thanks to T Governor for the raid. That was very nice. Basically tripled our attendance, which is terrifying.
Shit. Yeah. Let's go back to this screen. I just showed my last match. You know,
I mean, nobody cares.
By accident. Yeah, no one wants to see that. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's horrendous. Anyway, yeah, thanks for joining us, guys, for this wonderful game of the Dota 2 Ireland League. We've got exciting things ahead. There's a backlog of I'm gonna say at least 10 games that we haven't got through yet, including ours. We've got our third lined up, but we haven't played our first two yet. So things are gonna look pretty interesting in the future, and we hope that you guys stick around and come and see and come and join us and have a good time. It's gonna be nice. And we've gone full radio, right? This, by the way, this stream has been brought to you by Audible. Audible. Listen to books.
That's a lie. If we're sponsored by anything, it's Underworld Gaming, Tala.
This has been brought to you by Smartable. Smell books. Please, I'm so in the red. I shouldn't have put my house into this. I thought you'd want to smell books.
We have the potential for a post-game interview from Tay.
I'd be up to that. You want to do a post-game interview?
So don't leave over your new event.
Yeah, we're already there. We've been this cast coming to you live from under your bed tonight. It's really cozy. You really should dust down here, though. This is disgusting. How could you ever expect to bring anyone home to this?
Okay,
this is
hold
gross.
on. We should switch Discords now. Go to the Glue Munchers so Tay can join us.
All right. We're about to be a little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. I'll change scene real quick.
All right. Which one?
Okay, it's just me.
Right.
Before he shows up, he smells. Oh, hey, how are you?
It's me. Whatever my name was for this. Yeah, so we're gonna have a live interview. Apparently, we could also maybe get Mousy.
We could also get Mousy. We could get them. I don't know how to.
I don't think we should have them both here at the same time. I think that's unprofessional.
I don't know how to get off my Dota home screen. Hold on. That does feel a little unprofessional. Okay, Tay's not responding. Hold on.
What impression that? Oh, hello. Oh no.
No, that's not. Okay, maybe.
Oh,
Oh, there he is. Hey. Hey. how are
Hello! Congratulations, Tay.
Hello, my handsome casters. Thank you very much.
Ah, thank you.
Handsome
Oh,
is
don't
a-
butter us up.
you? Yeah. Hold on. We're looking at my.
You can butter
home
us up a
screen,
little
which
bit.
No one wants to. Let me pull up maybe. But how do you feel that game went? What do you think of 420 Side Coomers as an opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I know these guys personally. Big fan, big Mousy and Wishfire enjoyer. I love those guys. But yeah, the first game with the I don't know, the draft was pretty try hard because we like had to like feel it out a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, that was like an MMR difference, but we were like, fuck it, you know, we'll just like
Yeah.
see like how good they are as a team. Just 'cause I haven't played against them, and then it went pretty well in the first game, and then the second game it was kind of just like, all right, a little bit more lax. So I think our draft actually wasn't very good game two, but
Feel like so. What do you think the difference was between like? Because I would arguably agree, or at least the draft dominance wasn't there. I think the Mousy Stack maybe had a bit of a better draft the second time around as well. But what do you think? What was the different priorities going in, like in terms of pick?
right. So we picked Dark Willow first of all because James Wellen, it's Wellen by the way, not Whelan. Just
Well,
It
then,
is
all right,
well
well,
enough, fuck.
well, then he shouldn't have a name that's kind of similar to a pub.
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a place in Dublin, right? Yeah. Yeah, we picked. He's really good at Dark Willow, and as you maybe you saw it in the laning phase or not, he like was like pretty much like solo winning top, which is poggers.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just like, I don't know, we wasted all our reserve time on an edge pick, and then after that, I was like, this draft is fucked. I would just pick some heroes that we want to play.
It's pretty funny considering that Ench maybe could have been any hero, considering how the draft went, right?
Yeah. Well, it was just kind of like, okay, we think it's Grimstroke 4. Ench is good because he can like dispel the, you know, the X-Well or whatever.
Because you spent like so much of your draft time on Ench, and then they spent so much of their draft time responding to Ench. Like it spent like a full minute and a half of their reserve time just on the Ench pick, on the response to the Ench pick. So maybe it worked. Maybe it was a smart move.
That's just no. It's literally just because we're brain damaged. It's nothing but our stupidity.
That's fair. That is very reasonable. So, what did you feel like you learned anything from that game about how you play? Right, this is a new team. You got to try out some new strategies, or did you stick with the old reliable and learn more about that?
I mean, I think I'm pretty bad at Earthshaker, right? And this is me trying to get good at it, and I every time I play this hero, I get a bit better at pressing my buttons. So I think I learned a bit about that.
That's good. That's always good. It's a learning experience. Life's about the journey, etc., etc.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking realized it's annoying trying to fisher hoodwink. There's a point like I fishered him, right, and like you know where you like try to fisher block people, and then I just hit him into the trees, and then he got away, and I was like, what the fuck? This shit sucks, man.
Yeah, we're gonna like if we had highlights, we'd try and replay that right now. But unfortunately, we
Yeah,
fired
we're not,
the intern who was in charge of that because he asked for money.
Oh, can't be paying people in Irish Dota. What the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have
He
you,
wouldn't accept all of our different like second-hand headphones. Apparently, he needs food to feed his family.
What the fuck? Get in your cage, bitch.
Exactly. That's what I said.
how do you feel about Sadcom 420, the namesake of the Sad 420 Sad Coomers? Was he really felt like both games he was trying very hard and like putting his all into it? Was your communication amongst your team like, oh, fucking this guy again, or were you more focused on like taking down the sports and his sort of infrastructure?
Yeah, I mean, because like, well, the first game we weren't really concerned because it was like, okay, Spectre is not going to be an issue until like, you know, maybe later in the game, but then he's got like a diffusal blade and stuff, so he's like kind of, when he was like trying to fight early and it wasn't much of a problem, it was like, okay, whatever, this is like not worried about this at all. And then the second game, you know, just because we had like his BKB is really low, pretty soon into the game, and then we were like we have our Shaker to stun him, and it's like, I don't know, we weren't worried because it was like, okay, we can just stun this guy and kill him. He's like the only one who's like farmed in their team, I think. So we were like we were just like, fuck it, dodge the chrono, perma stun him, and it's like easy.
That makes sense.
And one last thing, we had a little discussion about this on the cast. Maxing Sandstorm on Sanky.
Oh yeah. All right. You and I both. So I have I'm also a Sand King player. How do you feel about that? Because I tend to find I feed so mercilessly when I do the Tranks kind of sandstorm build. But whenever I build like 3 bracers on and max burrow strike, I just stomp everybody into dirt. Because like we had a disagreement in terms of the draft because we felt like the first game maybe should have been like a harder win in the laning phase than it ended up being. I was wondering how you feel about that in terms of the Sand King lane specifically.
I agree with what you're saying about the lane thing. I think we fucked up a bit. We could have put more pressure on Spectre, and he shouldn't have got as much farm as he did. That was like, but that wasn't. I don't think that was to do with like the item builds. We just played a little bit badly, I think. But in terms of like Max and Sandstorm, he's like my Grim is like stacking ancients like 3 times, and like
Yeah.
I have like once now and then I just. Like I think Sand King is really good, right? You get this early blink timing, and like having like stacked ancients, which you can farm using the like the 3 points sandstorm or whatever. Just like so, like I got my blink at 10-minute right because of that.
Yeah, it was
And
huge.
arguably I could have like like you're right. I think there's certain games where you can like build more like universal stat items, and you can max the burrow strike and battle more. But I think it was more just like, okay, I want to get this blink as fast as I can from, like without risk. Like if I can consistently get that, I can just move, and then the game's just open from there. So.
No, that makes sense to me. That's kind of what I like when I had my issues in terms of like the exact lane, but it was like something that I figured in terms of how early that blink dagger was that really cracked the game open, and you weren't really going to be able to do that without maxing Sandstorm, right? So that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, but all right. We fucked up that lane at the start. Like we could have played way better in the lane. It was just I literally can't even remember what we did. Just not enough pressure, I think.
No, well, I guess I don't have any more questions. Dirt Goblin, I feel weird saying that, calling you that. Do you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the interview today. It was very informative, and congratulations and good luck moving forward. We'll see you soon, probably. Actually.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brothers! Can't wait. Thank you for casting. By the way, I will watch back the VOD.
No thanks. You don't need to look at all of it. It's fine.
We've all been drinking.
Yeah, we've all been drinking. I think Mark passed out at some point. But yeah, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
To all the viewers, all the Dota enjoyers, all of you passionate people, thank you very much.
I might be able to get Mousy now if you want to do an interview with him as well.
Fuck, okay. We've done our outro.
We're
like
gonna-
6 times.
yeah,
This
we're
is like
just
when you
ramping
say
up to
goodbye to someone and then walk the same direction as them. Yeah, get Mousy in here. Get the mouse man himself.
Hold on,
I'm desperately trying to find like a background I can use to like
Just
go
like
the
a
game
segue.
off in some way. Like a Dota buff or.
Is he
like
in this? Does he have access to this Discord?
No, I'll link it to him.
All right, cool. Because I just said yeah.
Oh, we could just go to the butter one.
Oh, okay.
Well, hold on. I'll just link it to it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So this was professional. I think we had an arc of professionalism, right? It's a lot
Yeah.
easier to be professional when you're not like actively casting a game,
Yeah. At the start, it went up, and then it quickly went down.
Quickly,
More
so
and more
quickly.
alcohol was consumed.
We were gifted a sub. Wait, what? How does that work? I don't know. We'll work out that out later. Hello, Mousy. How's it going?
Hi, nice to definitely meet you for the first time.
For the first time, yes. We've
Yeah.
never met. I've never met this man before in my life, and no one else has either. So how are you feeling? It was how do you feel about the game?
Not overly disappointed in it. I think we knew going in, as you said, there's a pretty big discrepancy in the MMR.
Yeah.
They're what if not top, they're second.
Yeah,
Possibly.
they're close. Yeah, I think I'm not sure what the difference is, but I think they're both
yeah,
relatively similar.
I think whichever it is like 100 higher than the other. So definitely one of the best 2 teams in the
for sure.
in the league numerically. So we knew going in it would be definitely a low odds of coming out on top. Didn't go as terribly as we thought, as I said, but yeah, obviously we could have done quite a bit better in places.
So how did you feel about the one question that I do have is how you shifted up your draft from one game to the other, right? Because I felt like game 1 you definitely had a plan or it had something because the Centaur first pick felt like a plan or like a goal that you had or some idea like a deny pick or some way you were going to build your team. But it didn't really pan out, and I'm wondering how you shifted from one to the other.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I will say it was Wishfire that's actually drafting now for
Ah,
us.
okay.
I dropped that because my drafts aren't great. But I think definitely game one was like kind of core plan of for protect Thomas really.
Yeah.
Psycom 420 as you know him.
Yeah,
Right?
I've been saying SC because I just hate saying that over and over again.
Fair, but we definitely, I think we decided that we knew we weren't going to come out of lanes too well, especially with that kind of first game draft, where um we knew just because of kind of the skill difference that we were gonna have to try and make it up in the mid game as opposed to kind of making it up early because at the end of the day, like say F in particular, is a super high skilled player.
Yeah.
So coming out well in lanes is really difficult. So we hoped kind of with some team play around the global ultis, is this ult, the Spectre ult, the Centaur War Runner, that we could kind of maybe position to get a few kills in the mid game and kind of build up a lead that way. I think the second game was a little bit more. We'll try to play maybe a bit more active, but we still I suppose to an extent the um wording. I think the 4 protect one was still pretty high with the strat with Thomas, but SC. But this time we tried to be a bit more around the map. That's why I kind of went the bots on Lena, but ultimately we kind of got pushed in quite a bit, and it was hard to move around and get that little bit of space that we needed.
One thing that I was definitely impressed by was like you guys really did put up a fight. Like it wasn't a stomp at all. In fact, there were a couple of like turnarounds at certain points. Especially, I was very much a nihilist about the first game. Like I thought that the first game was going to be more of a stomp based off of the draft. But you guys really, how did you guys pull that out? To be honest, is my question. Right, that laning phase, like. I mean, maybe the first bloods helped, but like, what did you guys specifically plan to do to mitigate the draft advantage that even you felt that the enemy team had, but you still managed to come out basically even out of laning phase?
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, I think maybe part of that was like that kind of last Timber pick is like the two mids just kind of end up farming, so it was like never
Yeah,
really
helped.
a very active laning phase. Really, our plan was just built around those kind of ultis. The fact that like we could kind of scout people out with nicks. We were hopefully not too vulnerable to say the Prophet gang. So it's like the big part of Prophet's strength is like that you can be everywhere on the map, especially like really early on. And they couldn't particularly do that against our lineup. So I think it was pretty decent that way that we could maybe hold on a little bit, and once we got to that point of having our ultis, we could kind of begin to kind of tentatively scout out while our kind of cores farmed. We were still able to kind of scout out with the Nyx or scout out with the Zeus ulti and try to get those picks. They kind of, as was the main kind of problem was there that we kind of once we got a pick, we kind of got a little bit overconfident. Instead of backing up like we should have, we kind of tried to push it a wee bit and ended up taking bad trades.
Makes sense. Well, thank you. Dirt Goblin, do you have any questions?
I do. I want to know how much have you practiced Lena recently?
Oh, none.
None. Yeah.
That was my first lane I gave in like probably a year.
It seemed like a good pick, but then I don't know. I was just watching you lane, and there was a little bit of funniness going on.
Yeah, I'm not a Lena player.
Yeah. Fair.
Feel free to not
I
ban it
realize
out
you're
of
a person of and respect, and so you probably completely.
Yeah, no, please ban it out against me every time so Wishfire doesn't pick it again.
Fair. I just want to know, like, so Wishfire's doing your drafting. How does you're also a mid player. We've gone up against each other a couple times. I'm always scared of you. I just want to know how does, because we have a very similar hero pool. How does it feel for you in this patch? Like, are you kind of struggling to find the heroes to play, or is it kind of? Like...
Yeah, I'm not particularly one for this patch's heroes. Like, I mean, I think it's kind of moving a little bit back towards it with that new E patch, but like especially back in the D patch, there was so much of this hanky mid, this primal beast, this like or spirit. Thankfully that's going down a little bit now. But they also nerfed Necrolite a bit, so my probably best picture in that meta is down. hopefully, I'm kind of hoping that they bring back a little bit of those kind of spirit heroes, things that are a little bit more active. It makes it a bit more of a fun and engaging gameplay as well, rather than just try to farm up and hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah, that does how playing Final Feast sometimes feels. It's like you charge in with your blade mail and hope for the best.
Yeah, building off of Dirt Goblin's point, how would you draft against yourself theoretically? If you were to theoretically be in a tournament against yourself, how would you draft?
This sounds like a very loaded question from a
No,
team
it's not.
that's-
It's not at all. It's very.
You can
It's
just
just
say
a,
no comment, man.
yeah, it's disconnected from anything really.
Oh,
Honestly, if you're just reading into it.
Oh, fine. Well, the obvious answer to you, Kian, is that we would draft 5 supports and all build Midases and, I don't know, run around like headless chickens.
That makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
that I buy that.
Write that
Yeah,
down.
no,
Write that down.
that was actually already what I've got written down. So
Yeah,
that helped
fair,
me
fair.
with deciding.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. My commiserations on the loss, but good luck moving forward.
No problem. Thank you.
We've been scheduled
yeah.
to play, so
We will.
Oh yeah,
schedule
we'll
our-
get to you. I mean, we'll get around to it. We've been scheduled to play a lot of fucking people.
that's true. But yeah,
So we'll see.
we will see.
Um,
All right.
And yeah, and shout out to Thomas for trying to back me up in chat there. But yeah, thanks guys, and have a good night.
Yeah,
Thanks,
All right.
thanks very much for casting.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Thanks, Marcy.
Bye.
All right. And now I think our final goodbye to the wonderful people of this
Yeah.
chat. If you're still here from T-Go's stream, God bless
Just
you.
kidding. We've got one final surprise interview with Dirt Goblin, the caster of the game.
Oh, God.
Dirt Goblin, how do you feel that way?
I didn't do it. Oh, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, pretty
Enjoyable
good.
game to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? I don't know where else to. I would like to
I just-
escalate this bit one more joke, but